This week, Alabama fans are not dealing well with being eliminated from the playoffs. So I'm having them talk to Jets fans since they have 14 years of experience. The last time the Jets made the playoffs, Bill Belichick's girlfriend was 10. Okay, Lions-Packers, let's start with your game. With the win Thursday night, Detroit officially clinched a playoff spot. Green Bay, what is your defense's problem? Do you have any defensive backs that are healthy? We shouldn't have traded Preston Smith. Get out. Okay, it has come to my attention. Some of you still don't know what we're doing on 4th down. AP, Mike McDaniel, and Dan Campbell, get in here, please. We're going to play a little game. It is 4th and 2. Go for it. I haven't even said what yard. Hand the ball off to Montgomery. I'm only kicking a field goal if it's inside the 5. What? Look over some spreadsheets, maybe run some what-if situations. Can I get back? This is going to be great. People might die. I'm a little lost right now. Why is your punter going out there? Who do you think is handing the ball off? You are more unhinged than the Family Guy edit. Excuse me. Okay, moving on. Can you wrap up our game? We have better things to do. Oh, okay, sure. Still 12-1. I haven't seen someone look this bad and still act this confident since Carson Beck was on Snapchat. Before we move on, there is some coaching news. Bill Belichick is in talks with UNC, not because of their program, but because it's a short walk from the stadium to his girlfriend's dorm room. Will someone teach Leonardo DiCaprio here about the transfer portal? Quick side note, Juan Soto left the Yankees for the Mets. Between that and Alabama missing the playoff, this is not a good week for Cowboys fans. That was a massive contract. Juan Soto got paid so much, you'd think he was about to ruin the Browns franchise. Moving on, let's do Giants Saints. Drew Lock started out 0 for 8. He was so bad he should start suing people. I heard that's what rappers do when they get dissed. Is it true the Giants hired an OnlyFans model? Yes, and ironically, she was the only fan there. Why are you smiling? What do you guys think? Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders? Okay, can you try to focus on the season? It's week 14. In our defense, we were thinking about this week 4. So. Also, I'm sure you saw someone hired a plane to send a message before the game. That is the best thing a Jet has done at MetLife Stadium all year. Derek Carr did fracture his non-throwing hand, so we are moving on from him. He's brought nothing to this organization but pain. Wow, I haven't seen someone abandon a car that quickly since Rashee Rice. Can we talk about how we eliminated the Browns from the playoffs now? Know one thing about Russ, he will always get the ball to whoever's open. So will Jameis Winston, even if it's to the other team's DBs. Dustin Hopkins and Kadarius Toney might be a problem. Maybe you should try drafting a kicker. Okay, Falcons, Vikings. Somebody get Kirk in here. Why are you booing him? That was not us. In his past 4 games, Kirk has 0 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and is 0-4. I've seen Cousins score more often in Alabama. The question, when do we have to decide on Sam Darnold? Do you want Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy? Wait a minute. J.J. McCarthy could be anything, though. He could even be a Sam Darnold. He could be. Okay, Raiders, Bucks. Vegas, will you stop tanking? We're going to start tanking even harder. Antonio Pierce is worse than Art Shell. The first or second time? First overall pick. Thank God. Okay, Panthers, Eagles. Quick question. Is Jalen Hurts blind? No. Then why isn't he seeing A.J. Brown? He will be fine. He just hesitates a little bit. I haven't seen an A.J. this ignored since people found A.J. McCarron's wife. Also, there was a kid at the game who switched from the Eagles to the Panthers because Chuba Hubbard signed an autograph. That kid is still more faithful than I understand it. Well, you get out of here. She got it. No, it's we had Brian Thomas Jr. I think we owe Josh McDaniels a little more credit. 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns, and we still lost. First time. Josh Allen does not deserve this. Okay, Buffalo. Sean McDermott is time out of QB sneak and then called QB sneak. I haven't seen a tush push fail that badly since Urban Meyer was at the bar. Okay, Bears 49ers. Caleb is now the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. You say that a little slower. Caleb takes a little time to process. Chicago. Tyreek Hill has now had more newborn children this year than you had offensive yards in the first half. Can't lose on the last play of the game if you get blown out. Work harder, not smarter. Lastly, the Simpsons game on Monday night was a success. We are trying to appeal to more children. Maybe they'll enjoy football and stop throwing so many temper tantrums, unlike Michael Parsons.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all know what it is, man. It's Rise Up Late Night Sports Talk, with your boy, the fire starter in the building, Andre the Robinson, of course. And of course, like I promised, like I told you, I gotta tell you this right now. This guy who is on the show right now, I have known this guy since 2017. When I tell you this guy right here and myself, we are parallel when it comes to this sports podcasting world. He's one of the first guys I knew doing podcasts myself. When I was doing them, this guy, rough and rugged, is what I call him because he give it to you from the grittiest, of the grittiest. My guy, my brother from another mother, but we all family here. Al York Sports. Al York is in the building, y'all. I'm super ecstatic because it's been a long time. Me and my guy has collaborated on the show, and hopefully you guys enjoy this one and do exactly what we always say, which is bring a drink, bring a snack, and a +1. Make sure you do that right now because this show is going to be a whole lot of fun on your late night tip. Al York, my guy, what's good?
I'm excited. What's good, baby? Finally, we tapped in. We're going to collaborate. We're going to talk to them, educate them, and even maybe make them some money, Torch, with the free plays. So, couple things in stake for them. And like you said, hopefully they can get comfortable because they're going to have to put their seatbelts on, man.
Facts, man. Facts. I hope y'all buckled up, strapped in.
Strap up, baby.
Strapped in for this one. Man, listen, we got a whole lot to talk about on this show today. We'll talk about week 14 games. This one in particular, week 15. We'll talk about this one first. We'll talk about week 14, some picks in week 15, some college football coming up. Man, Scroll Patrol, we going. Dalton D-Man Smith, Monster, Joe Monster McDowell. Monster, my bro, keep doing what you doing, bro. Keep putting the pressure on these blood suckers. Keep putting the pressure on these bloodhounds. Keep doing what you doing. Tyler Bush, what's good, my guy? I'm comfy, balls out, feet up. That's what I like to hear. I don't know about the ball part, but the comfy feet up part, sure, perfectly fine. I'm good with that. Dalton D-Man Smith, Ricky Bobby, Jay Will, everybody that's in the building, get ready because this one is going to be a whole lot of fun. And we got to start off with the least fun game so far this week, which is the Rams and the 49ers. 12-6 was your score. A bunch of field goals, no touchdowns whatsoever. 23 yards passing from the Rams in the first half. That guy Brock Purdy, who's looking for a contract at the end of the year, it didn't overwhelm. It wasn't an overwhelming game. Defense played pretty well on both ends. Al York, your thoughts on this game? Talk to us, bro.
Well, you got to understand, it was raining out in Levi Stadium. Brock Purdy got little hands. It ain't like he's out there with Russell Wilson's hands where the weather don't matter. He's got little fingers, and when the ball's wet, makes it that much difficult for him to release the ball. Like if you see in the first quarter, made that big pass over the middle to Kittles, because I had him big the first quarter, Torch. I had him a money line minus 140. I laid 280 to win 200 first quarter, and they won 3-0. And then the rain came, and I was like, thank God, because I know that's going to really hurt Purdy and that Frisco offense that has basically no running game. They fourth guy, if I'm saying it correct, Garendo, it has an ankle problem. So they actually ain't got nobody to run the rock. You see they had Debo back there, but Debo ain't your premier running back. So if they can't throw the ball, they're not going to be able to do nothing. And not to mention, not to take nothing away from the Rams defense that been playing of late. I think they won 7 out of their last 9, if I'm correct, or 6 out of their last 8. And they playing on both sides. Yeah, they're playing on both sides of the field, Torch. It's not just offensively with Cup, Nakua, Robinson, Tutu, and Williams and Stafford. Defensively, they playing also. Now, I know people might laugh, what happened last week? But you talking about, Bills Mafia, one of the best offense in football. You don't expect to stop the Bills in a dome stadium. Come on now. So I kind of gave the Rams a pass on that one. But tonight they showed up. They showed that they could really compete for that division, one game behind the Sea Chickens. And I think they can actually catch the Sea Chickens, but they playing really good, led by Geno. But that's another story. Let's stick with the Rams and the game tonight. That's why I was low scoring, divisional game. I think the first time they matched up, if I'm correct, it might have went just under or just over. Frisco had a big lead. Rams came back and beat them. Just like tonight, Frisco was kind of leading. Tie game, Rams won late.
Absolutely. Matthew Stafford today, 16 to 27, 160, no touchdowns, no interceptions, was not sacked at all. Again,
right.
Second game in a row where the Rams offensive line keeps Matt Stafford clean.
Yep.
No sacks.
And remember, they was able to run the ball, Torch. 29 rushes for Williams, 108 yards. Huge.
Absolutely.
Huge.
That's definitely huge. Definitely. Brock Purdy was 14 to 31 today, 142 and an interception, got sacked 3 times. Looked like the Rams defense were the more aggressive defense this evening, which is the reason why they come out of San Francisco with a 12-6 victory.
Yes,
it's
sir.
The Rams' victory on the road this year. Puka Nacua had 97 yards, by the way, where Cooper Kupp, in the game, Cooper Kupp did not have a catch at all. He did not have no catches, no yards whatsoever. But Puka Nacua, 7 catches, 97 yards on the day. George Kittle had 4 catches, 61 yards on the day. Deebo Samuel held to 16 yards and 3 receptions. God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten. But in this case, it wasn't enough for Deebo Samuel with the 316 stat. Wasn't enough to get the 49ers past the Rams. And of course, they take another loss. Fred Warner, 15 tackles, the guy we was worried about with the little ankle injury. 15 tackles tonight, leading the 49ers defense.
And don't forget the return of Greenlaw. Played really good there, Torch.
Yes, he did.
Greenlaw had 8 tackles, was very effective in the first quarter. Then he kind of hurt himself a little bit, came back in the game, but wasn't on attack mode as he was in that first quarter. Because you got to understand, he hasn't played, I think, since the Super Bowl, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so, you already know he was going to have some rustiness to him, but he showed out. Fred Warner said with him in that lineup, takes his game to a whole other level because you add another bullhawk linebacker in that system. The problem is 49ers cannot get it done offensively, and that's why you lost, Torch. Because, Torch, if you told me before the game started that the Rams were only going to score 12 points, I will go to every sports book and put $1,000 on the Niners. If you told me that the Rams were only going to score 12 points tonight. You feel me?
Absolutely. Yes, I hear you totally. By the way, gotta give lots of props right now to Kobe Turner, who had 2 TFLs and 2 sacks in this game for the Rams. We talked about defense. Kobe Turner tonight was the MVP, in my opinion, for the Rams, for the LA Rams. Stepped up big time. Got to give him big credit.
He also had 2 QB hits, which applies to putting pressure on the quarterback. You're right. He was all around the board today. You ain't lying about that.
Yes, he was. Big time. Let me read some of these comments. Monster said, San Fran is a mess. Aging roster. Big paydays coming up. Yep, absolutely. Shout out to everybody tuned in. I got the Seattle Seahawks super fan, Desmond Foster in the building. Tavon Foster in the building. Mr. Seacocks, Mr. Sea Chickens fan here. He better get ready for them Packers coming up this week. We'll talk about that shortly too. Josh Bailey, what's good? Stay Tuned is in the building. Shout out to Stay Tuned. If you have not watched Stay Tuned, you can watch Stay Tuned every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Make sure you tune into that. All right. He said Mr. Irrelevant made his team irrelevant tonight. Tyler Bush said the Seahawks are about to lose to the Packers. Absolutely. And lose the division. Quiet down. Tavon said 12 all day. Seattle all day. Okay, we got people repping their sets in here right now.
Right.
Bitch birds. Joe Monster McDowell on the ones and twos. Now, if you have not seen the Get Up podcast, you need to watch the Get Up podcast too. Every Tuesday, my guy goes in, and I mean squarely in. I mean rough, rugged, gives it to you straight like you need to hear it. Bills content, Bills talk. My guy, Joe Monster McDowell, is the guy for that. Make sure y'all tune into that. Tuesdays usually 8, 9 o'clock. I'm sure it's like 8, 9 o'clock. But my guy makes sure everybody gets the fuck up. All right, with this podcast for sure. Now, moving on, we got to move on because we got a lot to talk about. And I know we talk about the Rams and 49ers. Now the Rams are tied with the with those Rain City bitch birds at 8-6 for the NFC West division right now. Who do you guys think will win that division? Put it in the comment section. All right, make sure you put it in the comment section. Who will win that NFC West division? Will it be Arizona? Will it be San Francisco? Will it be the Rams? Or will it be the Seahawks? Put it in the comment section. Now, Al York, let me ask you that. Who you think winning the division?
Well, before we go to who's winning the division, I think it's fair to say, not statistically, but it's fair to say Frisco ain't gonna make the playoffs. Would you agree with me?
I would agree. I think they're done.
Yeah, I think they're done. I think tonight was the night to really show and prove after that big win at home against the Bears. They handle their business. Not that the Bears are playing good football, but they handle their business. But tonight, they had to win tonight if they were going to definitely tell an individual like me that's been following the sport forever that they really mean to try to, get a playoff spot. And when you came up short tonight, I mean, they kind of need the closest thing to a miracle to get in. They're going to have to kind of like win out and then hope all these hot teams like the Rams, the Seahawks, and all the other teams that are running for that last spot kind of go dim. But if Seahawks win, once you win the division, you're automatically in. So division winners are automatically in, regardless of their record, Torch. You know that already. But absolutely. I just think Frisco lost their shot today. Now, to answer your original question, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Rams and the Seahawks. I'm not a big guy of saying something equivalent, or even I'm big on, gun to the head. What I mean by gun to the head is you got to choose one. And it's tough because both of them are playing stout football right now. Geno's out there looking like the early Geno when he first started as the quarterback. Once Russell left, we're getting that Geno again. There was a minute there where we seen a little bit of the New York Jet Geno, but now he discovered himself or rediscovered himself, and now Geno is balling. The Hawks are balling. They moving the ball. They playing defense. You see how they took care of Zona 2 times in a row. Hold down Baby Feet, who I named Baby Feet, which is Kyler Murray, shut him down 2 straight games. So I would have to say, if I had a gun in my head, I'm going to run with, this is tough. I'm going to say Seattle, man. As much as I want to say the Rams, I'm going to say Seattle.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams on this one. I'm going to go the other way.
It's easy to say the Rams because they got more marquee names. Not that Metcalf and Baldwin ain't decent names and Smith. But when you say Kupp, Nakua, Robinson, Tutu, and Williams, it's just more. So I guess I got to, I guess you might be right, but I'm going to go Sea Chickens on the low right here on this one.
Got you. Rams are hot right now. Seattle ain't winning it, said Tyler Bush. Tyler been telling me for weeks that the Rams was coming back. And he's right on that one. Moving right along. We got 2 of the top scoring offenses in the NFL facing off this week coming up.
Woo! Game of the week, baby.
Game of the week. There you go. You answered the question I was going to ask you. Do you consider this the game of the week? Al Chase is in the building, and the chase is on. Absolutely, the chase is on. One team is already the number one seed, and one team is trying to chase the number one seed. But you got the number one and number two offenses. The Rams, I mean, not the Rams, but the Lions, the Lion Pride. You know, the Lion Kings. Tepenya going against the Bills, the Billy Down Bills. Yeah, it's going to be a phenomenal game. Who's your pick on this game, Al York? And who's your X factor on who and why they're going to win the game?
Well, this is a real tough game. I haven't really broke this game down. I hate to give my analysis on something when I didn't do my homework on it yet. I was going to work on that game tomorrow afternoon, but if I had to shoot freestyle like a rapper freestyling,
there you go.
I think the line is really low. I understand that the Bills are a really good team, but the lines, I think, opened up. I think it was 1.5, then moved to 2. Now it's 2.5, and they're playing at home. I thought this line would at least start at 3 and work its way up to 3.5, but I've seen that it hasn't. Now, I'm a true believer on line movement because I've been gambling for like about 20 years, so I'm a professional gambler also, and I'm big on line movement. A lot of sports fans might see me different when I break it down, like what he means by that. And I understand because gambling is a tough game to understand. You know, that's why you got a lot of losers because a lot of people don't know how to win. The line is telling me that the Bills are going to win this game, but my heart is telling me I can never go against the Lions, man. They're the second make of the best show on turf when the Rams with Kurt Warner, Isaac King, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holding Company, Marshall Falk. This team right here to me, it's the second make of that team right there, Torch. They move the ball. Gibbs out the backfield. Montgomery running angry, my guy. St. Brown reminds me of Hines Ward. He popping defenders, knocking defenders out the game on some Hines Ward shit. These guys are tough. Williams is stepping up as a receiver. And, you know, what else can you say about Jared Goff, man? I didn't like him in California. I didn't like him with the LA Rams. But I'm loving him right now with the Detroit Lions. And he is leading that crew with Dan Campbell and company. And they are taking motherfucking dudes' heads off, dog. They taking people's heads off. Only loss was the bake money in the Bucks, but I thought that was a trap game because if they play the Bucks again, they'll probably beat them by 21 plus points. Torch, talk to me, Torch.
No doubt about it. ESPN's match predictor has the Lions 58% winners according to ESPN analytics. Jared Goff's season totals right now 276 completed passes out of 381 passes made for 3,265 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs, that man that they call Sonic. They call him Sonic. 178 carries this year, 1,016 yards, 10 touchdowns. Amon St. Brown, 863 yards, 81 catches, and 9 touchdowns. Those are your stat leaders in each position: running back, quarterback, and wide receiver. When you talk about the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 3,033 yards, has completed 252 out of 393 passes he's made this year. Cook has been cooking. Let it cook. Let it cook. Like my girl.
He didn't show up. He didn't show up last game, though. There was not a cook in the house. I was looking for some food on Sunday, and there wasn't a cook in the house, man. I promise you, there was not a cook in the house there, Torch.
Not last week, it wasn't. I think it was more aired out last week with the shootout that was going on. But Cook has been letting it cook the majority of the season. He has 11 touchdowns, 723 yards on 157 carries. Khalil Shakur. We all said that
he's been balling.
Khalil would break out. And this might be Khalil's 1,000-yard season. With 4 games left, he has 735 yards, 3 touchdowns, 65 catches. Khalil Shakur definitely holding down that Bills wide receiving core that's been injured. Amari Cooper has been injured. Keon Coleman's been injured somewhat, but Khalil Shakur has been holding it down for these Buffalo Bills. I expect a shootout again. I expect a Soldier Boy shootout. Take it back to the old days, the shootout. Hey, I expect that type of game, like we got from the Bills and Rams. I expect that with the Bills and Lions this week. What I expect is that the Bills will focus more on stopping the run this week. I expect the Bills to be focused on stopping the run. If they can do that, they will have a shot at taking a victory away from these Detroit Lions. If they do not, and Sonic and Knuckles get off, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery get off, it's going to be a long day in the 3-1-3 for these Buffalo Bills. Doug Kroom, shout out to you. You in the building. I see you. Melissa, what's up? Good evening. Shout out to you, Melissa. He said, not a cook in the house. Love it. Melissa, like that, what you said, Al. Of course, by the way, for those who don't know, Al York Sports is on Rise Up Late Night with your boy, the Fire Starter, man. We've been doing this thing for a long time here, Al York.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Now, the defense does stink a little bit. Play calling does stink, Doug Kroom. And as we spoke, we need to talk about it. The Buffalo Bills against the Rams. Couple things that stood out to me. I'm going to put it out there. Number one, the Buffalo Bills needed to get out of zone earlier in that game against the Rams. They did not. They made the adjustment too late. Number one. Number two, the fact that they went cover zero at against the Rams that touchdown, Puka Nacua with the screen.
Oh, man, that killed me. That had Buffalo money line. Yeah, that had Buffalo money line. That killed me, man.
Wrong play call in that situation. Yeah. The Rams had the right call for that situation. Cover zero, you run the screen. You get the block on the edge, you get the block to set up the hole right on the boundary. It's it. If you can cover if you can cover the defensive end and you can get the block on the boundary, there's the hole for Puka Nacua to go right through. Touchdown it was. That pretty much sealed it. But did it really seal it? Because to me, what really sealed the game was the third situation in which Sean McDermott calls a timeout when you don't need to call a timeout. If you were going to use the Lakeview, if you were going to use the Lakeview shovel or shuffle, whatever y'all calling it now in Buffalo right now, you don't call timeout. You do it. If it fails, I don't care if it was 95% approved. If you fail, you get your ass back up and you run it again. You don't use the timeout. The timeout essentially killed Josh Allen getting back on the field. They had to kick the
onside kick instead of the regular kick. I totally agree with you, Torch.
And that was it. Now, people will say there was false starts, and I saw them too. I definitely saw the false starts that the Rams got away with late. Those two false starts that they got away with, hey, here's what I will say, though, folks. You cannot leave the game in incompetent's hands. That's what I will say from now on. That's my new slogan.
It's a new slogan.
You cannot leave a football game or any sport or any game in any sport into an incompetent's hands and expect them to do the right thing. They're just not going to do it. These refs are the only, to be honest with you, officiating is the only job I know you could be mediocre, piss poor, and incompetent in and still have your job with no accountability. So with that being said, and because you guys know that, and because my guy Al York is laughing his ass off right now because he knows, right?
Hell yeah.
Football games or basketball or baseball or hockey or any other game in incompetent's hands. The Bills can't do that. Can't do it. It is what it is. He should have kicked the field goal. Could have did that too. Could have kicked the field goal, then booted the ball. Could have did that too. Sean McDermott stinks. He wanted his OC to run no more. How you gonna run your backs when you're down 10 to 17 points? Josh Allen's the only reason why they came back in that game. Yeah, absolutely. Torch, weather, man.
Torch. Awesome. I know it's one. I know it's one game, and the Bills been playing very well on both sides of the ball. But when I tell you, Torch, I was watching the crazy big screen, like the casino shit. I don't know how many inches is that.
Right here, like projection 200 inches screen.
Yeah, I'm talking about maybe even double that size. You know what I'm saying? Not that yours is not big. Yours is big, but double. What I'm trying to say is they could not stop the Rams if they'd had 12 people on defense.
No,
so I'm saying, do you blame the coach or the defensive players are just not good enough when you meet an offense like the Rams?
Well,
because they could not stop them. 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12s. It was just crazy the way Stafford and them was moving that rock, bro. And it made me really look at the Bills like, you know what? I know it could be a bad day. I understand about a bad day. You don't judge a book by a cover by one bad page. But it made me really think, like, I don't know if they could win the Super Bowl thing, if they got that in them. Because even the Lions on bad nights don't play like that, or the Kansas City Chiefs on bad nights.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I tell you, they was going up the field back and forth. They got like one stop, I think, at the end of the game that made it really close. But that was it, Torch. That was it.
Well, okay, so let me talk about that a little bit. And yes, Joe, you're right. Weathermen also are terrible at their job too. And I'll read some more of those comments too in just a second. But first and foremost,
shout out to everybody tuning in, everybody that Torch is shouting out. Shout out to all of y'all, man. We appreciate y'all taking y'all moment, y'all time to tune in to one of the two OGs that been doing this, like Torch said, for many years.
For sure. Definitely. And shout out to the OGs that's watching too. Joe Monster McDowell's OG himself. Shout out to him too. Paul Robinson, what's good? I see you, my guy. He's a Seattle Seahawks fan. Now, let me get to the defense. Again, the Buffalo Bills took too long to get out of zone. And when they went to man, you've seen that it actually was working. Going to man actually worked, but they waited too late. You can't wait till the fourth quarter to switch going from zone to man. Matthew Stafford is a zone wizard. He's a wizard in zone.
He was cutting them up. He
was doing it surgically cutting them up. I did not like that he waited too long to do that. That's number one. And then number two, secondly, again, this is critical moments in games where the Bills were literally 10-2 because this year they actually have been doing well closing games, figuring out the right moves and making the right decisions in critical game moments, and it reared its ugly head against the Rams. And I'm like, oh no, this is the worst time. We almost in playoff mode. We got a couple games before you in playoff mode. And let's be clear, this game right here against the Lions is probably the last real game of competition that the Buffalo Bills will face for the rest of the season. And I'm like, damn, you waited till this point to show your ugly head and making bad decisions. I didn't
one of my boys said, I'm not making excuses for the Bills, but when you got a team like the Lions on deck, you kind of look past the game in front of you. Now, I never understood that because the little time that I play sports, my worry is what's in front of me, man. Even when I was in the streets and we had fights and we knew we had beef with other cliques, I'm not worrying about the other clique at the moment. I'm worrying about the dude in front of me. So that's why I never bought into that. But it looked like they were looking ahead, dog, because that defense, dog, that defense looked trash. Ain't no other way to put it, dog.
I totally agree with you. I think
they were averaging, if I'm correct, don't hold me to this, I think it was like 7 to 10 yards of play, George.
It was.
That's unheard of, bro, for at least 3 quarters of the game.
It was. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, damn. I'm like, did y'all game plan this week? Because it damn sure didn't seem like it.
Oh, did y'all go to the nightclub last night?
Yeah, maybe that too.
You feel me?
They was in LA. It should have been a
Yeah,
business.
what
That
LA
game-
spot you was in? Because you ain't show up to the game, not
Yeah.
defensively.
Nah, I will tell you that that game should have been a road trip. And when you ask me what type of loss, who was the loss on, I'm gonna say that it's a collective loss. And here's why I'm gonna say it's collective. It's collective because offense took some time to get together. Remember, they were already down 17. They were down 10 points minimum to start the game. They were already down.
Facts.
The offense took too long to get it together. You got to get it together right off the jump. You got to get it together. You on the road, your offense has to click, has to start right then and there. When the whistle blow, when that kick is made, get your offense ready to rock and roll. Number one. So it took a minute. Even though Josh Allen put up 3 touchdown passes and 3 touchdown running, which has never been done in the NFL. Shout out to Josh Allen.
Yeah, that was sick. I gotta pause you. Who you got as your MVP, Torch? Because I've been having Lamar basically all year. Even though Lamar didn't show up that last game, that really disappointed me. Laid an egg against the Eagles. But Lamar's been top notch. But a lot of people been in my ear, yo, Al. Josh Allen, I'm telling you. And right now, you just said 3 running. I don't even think Lamar maybe got 1 game of 3 running, 3 throwing, right?
He doesn't have any 3 running, 3 throwing.
Look at that. So that was amazing.
He's never done it.
But back to the yardage, before I forgot, they almost gave up 500 yards in total yards. But go ahead, continue, Torch.
Absolutely, no problem. I mean, I think it's a collective loss again. Like I was saying, offense showed up too late. Defense took too long making adjustments. Like Joe Monster McDowell's on here, soft zone, no pass rush against any good quarterback is a death wish. Absolutely, I totally agree with that. And then the critical mistakes made by the coaching late in games, costing the Bills again. In this game, the Rams game might have cost them the number 1 spot. They were trying to get the number 1 spot. I don't think they get it now because they lost to the Rams. I think they looked past the Rams and they were looking at the Lions. The Lions had 10 games to prepare, 10 days to prepare for the Buffalo Bills, by the way. Coming up.
So you agree that they might have looked ahead, right, Torch?
Yes, absolutely. 110% I agree.
Okay, now I'm gonna make another statement like I made the last time. If you would have told me that the Bills scored 42 points before the game, I'm at the window putting a couple of thousands on the Bills. So when you say collective, I'm a little confused because how is it collective when they score 42 points, Torch?
Well,
who scores 42 points
okay.
these days?
So I'll answer that question. It's a good question.
Yeah, unless you mean they started slow, but obviously that ended hard. So, I mean, 42, and it was all offensively.
That's where I say it's collective. It's collective because the offense took a while to get started. They scored 42 points, but 42 points wasn't enough to beat the Rams.
See, when you say collective, though, I feel like you put in as much blame on a offense as you are the defense. Hell no.
So let me clarify.
Yeah, let's use a different channel for that because not collective because offense scored 42 points.
Al, to me, it's collective. But if I had a pie and this pie was the collective pie, I would say the defense was 65%. I would say the coaching mistakes 25%, and then the offense was 10%.
Okay, now you're talking to me. Now you're talking to me.
It would be 65, 25, 10. 10 for the offense.
Yeah, because 42 points. Think about it. Who scores 42 points like that?
I mean, the Buffalo Bills. You want to know why?
There you go.
The Buffalo Bills have been scoring 30 plus.
And the Lions, of course. The Lions that they're playing. Now, you want to hear something funny? You would think that these two high-class offenses are going to score multiple points, right? I'm ready to make a bet where they don't go over the total.
Ooh.
And I'm going to tell you why. If it was that easy to make money, Torch, you go get 5,000, I go get 5,000. We'll just put it in the book, take the over, sit back, relax, and collect in 4 hours. It's not that easy, brother.
No, it ain't.
I guarantee you that shit'll probably go under the number by like 1 or 2 points, bro. And it's hard to explain why, because you got two offensive juggernauts playing inside of a dome, perfect weather. It should go over, right or wrong, George?
Yeah, absolutely. It should go over.
So why don't me and you make a big bet on it then when we hang up from the show, and we'll just make a big bet and just get some easy money if it's that easy.
Oh man, if it's that easy, let's do it. I can use my sure. It's Christmas time.
Exactly. And I got a lot of things I got to pay.
Right. Hi, Ramona. What's going on? Shout out to you for being up tonight. Again, if you want to watch Ramona's show, the Alphabets Football Talk Show, every Friday night, 10 o'clock, they give it to you from every angle. I mean, from every angle. I'm talking about when The Rock was talking to Big Show from a different angle. He gives it to you from every angle. They give it to you from every angle. Ramona Dye, phenomenal sports analyst. Marcus the Alphabets, phenomenal sports analyst. Give them their props. Friday nights, 10 o'clock. Make sure you tune into them.
George, send me all your people's information. I want to follow them and show them love, man.
Absolutely.
And hopefully it'll go vice versa. Sure. Yeah, real
Absolutely.
talk.
We connecting people together again.
Facts.
Like we used to. Bills were 3-11 on third down efficiency. That's another thing that hurt them. We were missing Coleman and Kincaid. Let's face the fact, Samuel is worthless. Again, I don't want to spend too much time because we got a lot more to talk about. But Curtis, I told you guys, Curtis Samuel is not used to winning. I don't know why you would bring not used to winning guys to a culture that's been used to winning for 5 years. He's not used to winning. He's not a used to winning guy. And this is why you're seeing Mac Hollins do more than Curtis Samuel right now. You're seeing that right now. You see what I'm saying? He's not used to winning. Mac Hollins isn't either, but Josh Allen is making Mac Hollins look like a threat.
Right.
He's making him look like a threat. Yeah,
and I love that Amari Cooper. Cooper pickup. I think he's perfect for that unit, Torch. The veteran, got great hands out of Alabama, played with the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Browns. Cooper still got a lot in his tank, and he doesn't have to be the guy in Buffalo. That's why I think it's a perfect pickup for the Bills.
Absolutely. Him and Coleman and Kincaid and Shakir, they have
Shakir caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie to you. That kid balling, man. He balling.
They got weapons. Now, speaking of the MVP, you talked about MVP. Somebody put this up this week. Put this up with Sam Darnold and Josh Allen. Let's be very honest. We're not gonna spend too much time on this. Sam Darnold is not Josh Allen at all. Don't even try it. Not even close. He is not close. Josh Allen. Not even close.
I love what Sam Darnold's been doing, but that's a whole different conversation when you're talking MVP shit.
Absolutely. Totally different conversation. And by the way, I need anybody who just put comments in the comment section for the last 2 minutes to put those comments back in the comment section again. I don't know why Facebook loves to recycle comments when I'm trying to read off the comments, but I need every comment back for the last 2 minutes. I think I see some stuff though. Hold on, let me see. Let me make sure. Okay, yep, I do. Sean McDermott stinks. He wanted yep, I saw that. Defense not good when your whole defensive line made the first and second rounders. Oliver Rousseau, Epineza, first round. Why are we comparing Darnold to Allen? Darnold has Jefferson, Addison, Aaron Jones, and TJ Hockenson. Absolutely. That's the difference. Context is key when we're talking about MVP talk. If Josh Allen had those weapons, Josh Allen would have 4,000 yards. He always puts up 4,500 yards. Josh Allen would have those type of numbers with those type of weapons right now. By the way, speaking of numbers and weapons, here's another reason why Josh Allen should be in it. He only has 5 interceptions this year, by the way, y'all. Everybody called him overrated. He was Mr. Overrated. He was Mr. Turnover King. He has corrected those. Him and his coordinator has worked well. Joe Brady has worked well, making sure they adapt the run, let it cook. Let Josh Allen make the right decisions not putting too much pressure. Stephon Diggs not being on the team anymore has definitely helped.
Oh, that's definitely helped him out. Definitely helped
Josh Allen, because now he doesn't have a crybaby in his ear saying,
yes,
"Get me the ball," yada yada yada. They got Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper doesn't do that. He plays. Even though he's been known to quit in the past. I don't think Amari Cooper will be doing that with the Bills. So it's a good pickup, good switch. Get rid of Diggs, get Amari Cooper, Coleman. Good job.
Torch, real quick, before you move on, Torch, give me them Josh Allen numbers again.
Josh Allen's numbers right now. He's 23 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions, rate of 101.9, 233 yards per game, passing yards per attempt, 7.7, 3,000.
Yeah, but what he got total passing yards?
3,033.
Okay, I'm going to pivot. Lamar Jackson, 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 3,300 yards passing. My man, this is a guy that everybody thought was a runner first. You feel me? You got to have Josh in the conversation, better record, and he is closing out games. But Lamar, low-key, is having a magnificent year. I mean, magnificent. But he's got to close these games out at the end. There's about 3 games Lamar did not close.
Correct.
And that's why they 8-5 right now. And that could be the key to him losing the MVP over Josh Allen, if that makes sense.
Right. Let's not forget that the Baltimore Ravens killed the Buffalo Bills when they played.
Yeah. That's great point. That's great point.
Head to head. Let's not forget that. But
I forgot that. So that was good you bring that up.
Yeah, let me address something too. Lamar Jackson against the NFC period had a Undertaker-like record, 22-1.
Oh my gosh.
When they faced the Eagles,
what is like 19-1?
He was 22-1.
Look at that. Jesus Christ.
So that is a problem. Steelers D can only do so much. Offense has to move the chains. We'll talk about the Steelers in a minute. Joe Source, what's good, my guy? Shout out to you. What happened to Kincaid in the playbook like last year? Doug Kroom, that is not ESPN banter. That is strictly straight Andre Robinson being at the games, literally covering games talk. That has nothing to do with ESPN. I could care less about the ESPN banter when it comes to Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is a dog, but you cannot sit here and pretend like Josh Allen not having Stephon Diggs in his ear getting the ball has not been better. Josh Allen does not have a player on the team which allows Josh Allen to play more free. He's played freely this year. He's played.
I agree with that.
We can't sit here and pretend like that's not the case. That would be biased if I did pretend that that's not the case. Josh Allen, though, also has 416 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns, running the football too, on top of those numbers. So Josh Allen has accounted for 32 touchdowns. By the way, Josh Allen is the only quarterback in NFL history to account for 40 touchdowns in 4 straight seasons. Josh Allen might do it a 5th time this year. He had 4 games to get 8 touchdowns to be able to make it 5 years in a row. So there's one quarterback who's done that for 4 seasons in a row, and that's Josh Allen. He's the only one. He's about to do it for a 5th time.
Right. How many rushing yards you said he had this year?
He's got 416.
Okay, let's to make it clear, Lamar almost got 700. I'm just saying. You see what I'm going with?
Yeah.
Lamar,
absolutely.
Lamar just, this guy, my man, I know Allen got the more spark because their team is playing better. Though head-to-head, the Ravens smashed them. We already know that. But beside that smashing, Allen's been really doing it. And then without Diggs, makes him look even better, losing a powerful weapon like Diggs. But me and you know that kind of freed him up spiritually, where now he could just do him instead of following Diggs.
Absolutely.
Because Diggs had him throwing into one-on-3 coverage. You know that.
Yes.
Diggs just start yelling, throwing his helmet. I mean, he walked out on the game last year. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, no, you're not. You're not wrong. You're right. You're
So,
right.
you know, that kind of attitude, you don't need a cat like that.
Yeah. And
I
then
love Diggs' play, but I hate that he does that shit. He reminds me of Ocho Cinco, Terrell Owens, and Odell Beckham. All these divas that tend to fall off late in their careers. And you can also throw Antonio Brown in the mix. You feel me? But that's the route he's going. And he better chill and get it together with CJ and company, because he don't know how good he got it over there. He had it good with Buffalo, but now he's lucky to have it good, you know, with DeMarco Ryan and CJ Stroud and company.
Absolutely. And
now, I know he's out for the year, but I think he signed through last year. If I'm correct, I don't know if it's a couple years or a 1 year deal, but if he's still over there, he's better appreciate his situation, because he's going to wind up like the guys I just mentioned, bro.
He had a 2 year deal that was one in the optional, which means that he could be a free agent at the end of the year.
Okay. Good information.
Absolutely. Yeah, Ramona, I think it's between Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley right now. Lamar sometimes is the problem. He isn't doing whatever it takes to win sometimes. I agree with that. But Tyler, you said, why wouldn't Lamar win the MVP? Well, if we go on by stats, then we have to add Joe Burrow in this conversation, because Joe Burrow right now has...
Yeah, Burrow's lining up too. I mean, they all candidates, Torch. They all going to be candidates.
Yeah, they all candidates to me. Absolutely agree. Ravens have struggled ever since. Yes, they have struggled ever since they beat the Bills. Now, of course, everybody likes talking wrestling for sure. I see that. But now Paul said DK Metcalf wants to be a Steeler, given Russell Wilson is asking for him to join the Steelers. That would be nice. Do you think Diggs, Monster said, do you think Diggs would let me use his pretty face blouse to go to, oh my God, to a Diddy party? Here we go. Here we go. Nah, he got to scrap the cape on every week, because he has Shakir. Oh, yeah, he's got to strap it on. Of course he do, because he has Shakir. Diggs made Josh remember catching them crazy high balls Josh would throw. Coleman overrated, to be honest. He hasn't done enough to wow me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's false. Keon Coleman is in top 5 when it comes to wide receiver rating for rookies this year. He's top 5 in the PFF ratings, by the way. For those who don't know, Diggs is a free agent after this year. Yes, he is. They might have been crybabies, but they are some of the best to ever play the damn game. Stop puffing whatever you puffing. Oh, come on, Ramona. They are some of the best to ever play the game. You're right about that. They are. I don't know about Odell Beckham, though. I mean, Odell Beckham had a couple of great seasons, but I don't know if we would put Odell Beckham in the same conversation as the Ocho Cincos and the Terrell.
Well, if you watched him in New York like I did,
ABs of the world,
slamming his helmet, you know, acting up on the sideline because he wasn't getting the ball, it falls right under the same cap with me, bro. You know, you put pressure on your quarterback. You will never see Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, you know, do stuff like that. Other great receivers, Jerry Rice's of the world. I'm a believer, man. You work with your quarterback. You don't put pressure on your quarterback. You know who low-key going that route? You ready for this? My guy for my Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, don't get me started.
He low-key getting there with it. He already had 2 breakouts with Dak Prescott on the sidelines already.
Don't get me started on CeeDee Lamb. Do not.
And he's another well-talented individual out of Oklahoma. The kid is nasty. But you cannot, if you notice when he catches 5 or more balls for like 70, 80 yards, he's content. He's on the sideline smiling. But whenever he got like that, he feel like he ain't getting the rock. He don't care about the team. He don't care about the score. All he's worried about is getting his. And I don't like that, bro. I don't like
Doug
that
has a question for you. Doug has a question for you, Al, real quick, before we start talking about.
Talk to me, Doug. Talk to me.
Top 5 rushing yard leader. Yeah.
Is it Doug Baldwin or Doug Martin?
Doug Kroom.
Okay.
I will I will, in a minute, get to these top 5 rushing yard leaders on here in a second. But Doug says, why wouldn't a brother shows passion? He's the problem. But quarterback can throw his helmet, smash tablets, and they're passionate.
No, I'm not good with that either.
Okay.
I'm not good with that either. I mean, I like passion, but there's something that I call like overdoing it. Don't overdo it. I could be upset with my woman, Torch. Doesn't mean I'm a slapper.
Right.
You see where I'm going with it?
Mm-hmm.
I could be upset with her. I could be, yo, why you did that? But I ain't gonna go to that next level, like smash tablets, throw your helmet, curse the coach out, curse your quarterback. That's too much. I'm a believer of that, dog. You're not gonna get nowhere. Look at Diggs where he's at now. Not that he's in a bad situation with Houston, but you on a Super Bowl contender in Buffalo. How do you fuck that up? You tell me that, I'm Torch. How do you fuck up that situation?
I don't know how you can mess that up.
Come on, bro.
I'm weirded by
bro.
it.
Allen, top 5 quarterback, top 3 now. Could be the MVP. How do you fuck that up?
Right.
You don't see Jamar Chase acting crazy. And they losing over there. They losing in Cincinnati. You don't see Chase act crazy.
Right. Let me read this comments real quick, and then we'll get into these top 5 rushers. Diggs have every right to be upset with this organization. Everyone should be upset with Sean McDermott. Lamar tries to play pocket passer too much sometimes. He needs to do what he has to do to help his team win. It's like he's afraid of what the media and naysayers will say, so he doesn't take off running the ball like he should sometimes. Diggs would have had a meltdown with the fans last week against the Rams. Remember, Travis Kelce cussed out Coach Reed in the Super Bowl for taking him out the game, for sure. Now, let's talk about these top 5 right now. Kyren Williams right now is number 3 in the league because he just played today and added 108 yards to his total. So Kyren
Williams,
a
game ahead. He got a game ahead.
He's a game ahead. So right now, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Jahmyr Gibbs, and by the way, they run a dual running back system over there where the Detroit Lions might have 2 1,000-yard runners by the end of the season.
Facts. Montgomery's almost close to 800, if I'm correct.
Let me check.
Like 751. I think he got about 750 something, if I'm correct. With about what?
We're gonna see right now just left. How good. Let's see how good my guy's stats is. I think he's right. I think he is totally 100% right on that. Let's see real quick. We'll pull up the Lions stats. Let's pull up. You know they 12-1, of course. Mm-hmm. They just keep winning. Again, championship teams figure out ways to win football games. They do.
Though they're not champions yet.
But they're not. But they have championship degree. And David Montgomery has 771 yards. You are absolutely right.
Yeah, I was off 20 yards, but at least I was there.
You was there, right there.
And I think you're 100% right that he will eclipse the $1,000, barring no injury, because they do feed him enough. He does get the ball. Campbell and company, to be honest with you, I think he gets more rushes than Gibbs. The thing is, Gibbs averages more per rush. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
What's that you drinking? It look like an Alizé bottle for my little phone, but I know it ain't no Alizé.
Pineapple juice.
There you go, brother. He said pineapple juice.
Told you, bring your drink, your snack, and a +1. Mine is pineapple juice tonight. Ramona, what team in the 70s had 2 1,000-yard rushers?
That's a good question.
You happy about the Kraken right now, beating up on the Bruins in hockey? You happy about that? Mm-hmm. So now we'll move right along with the show. We'll move right along. Got more information. By the way, if you don't know, now you know. You are on Rise Up Late Night with your boy, the Fire Starter, and my guy Al York from Al York Sports. Make sure
For sure.
you support
Yeah.
2025. We in 2025 coming up. Make sure
Yes,
you
sir.
We want to support
And for the record, this is our
everybody.
first time doing a show together. So me and Torch,
Yes,
we've been doing this so long that we probably got a lot of people fooled. But this is actually our first time conversing like this.
This is, and we've been doing shows for 8 years, supporting each other's shows and the whole 9 yards for 8 years, and this is the first show we actually did together. Absolutely. All right, this season, 325 minimum snaps, highest graded by position defense. Ready? Cameron Hayward, 90.3 interior defender, them Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, them Steelers got a bunch. You got TJ Watt out there killing shit, Hayward killing shit.
Oh, Rocky Blyer and Franco Harris in 1976 had 1,000-yard seasons both.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yep. Now,
yeah, Rocky Blyer. I had a Rocky Blyer football when I was younger. I had no clue who that was, but I definitely remember Franco Harris.
For sure.
The Immaculate Reception. I'll leave it like that.
Definitely. The fire has started, lit for life. You already know, Paul, for sure. Edge defender, TJ Watt, 92.4. Wow.
That kid right there is an animal.
TJ Watt or Zach Braun?
I like Watt, dog. Watt's an animal.
Oh, yeah, Watt is. Definitely.
He's kind of injury prone. But when he's on that field, bro, he's as good as any of the guys I ever watched my whole life. I'm not going to say Lawrence Taylor, because Lawrence Taylor was on a whole different planet. But TJ Watt is out there, bro. He's out there, bro.
For sure.
I like him more than his brother. I keep
you like him more than JJ?
Yes, I like him more than JJ. And I love JJ.
All right. Informational section of the show. Zach Braun, 90.0. Patrick Surtain, cornerback, Denver Broncos, 94.3. Kirby Joseph, Detroit Lions, 91.
Joseph.
All right. Little information. We get a little informational here. We like to spread some information. Now, gotta shout out my guy from Buffalo real quick. Shane Dolick. Shout out to him. Been covering UB football all year. They are Bahamas Bowl against Liberty this year coming up in college football. He is College Football Network's Defensive Player of the Year, and he should be because, this dude is a tackling machine. I hope to see him on Sundays. He should make somebody's NFL team. He should be on somebody's NFL team. Tackling-wise, he was just as good as Khalil Mack tackling wise.
That's high praise right there.
Yeah,
that's high praise.
From somebody who watched both of them. Yes, right. And I've seen both of them in action. So, oldest coach in D1 college football, Bill Belichick. This has been a story. This has been the story of the week, I think, to be honest with you. Bill Belichick has decided to move to the North Carolina Tar Heels football program. Al York, real quick, give me your thoughts on this.
Well, what basically happened, if a lot of you guys remember last year, one team was interested in Bill Belichick. So I think he got I don't want to use the word scared, but when you this old, 72 years old, and you had one team that was interested, and then you get a deal, a three-year deal, if I'm correct, for 75 M's, 25 M's a year, if I'm correct. Hold me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the 3-year deal. You almost have to jump on the opportunity at hand when you this old. You ain't got too many chips to play with, Torch. You're not 50 no more, Torch. Now, a lot of people don't understand it. I understand it. He wants to get back in the game by any means necessary. Is this a good look for him? No. Right now, I'll say no. But if he turns this franchise around, let's say by year 2, year 3, Torch, and they in the playoffs and they making noise, I think a lot of people's mindset would change immediately. Would you agree?
I would agree 110%.
But the thing is, he's got to make that happen. He can't be going like 7-6 or 8-5 and just makes a bowl game. He's got to go to UNC and turn that franchise around. Like, now I'm not going to say like Nick Saban did in Alabama, but he better go there and make some noise immediately is what I'm saying.
Like Deion Sanders did with Colorado.
Perfect. I like that. I like that. Like he did with Jackson State, and
Yes.
definitely Colorado, bro. Definitely.
Yes.
But
absolutely.
the thing is, they didn't make the playoffs. I thought they would make the playoffs, but they didn't. And I kind of wanted that, even though I think they would have got smoked in the first round. But I would have liked to see Deion make the playoff. That'd have been like incredible, dog. I mean, can you imagine the people watching that game, bro?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
Deion gets people to watch games. I don't care what. No, I remember the opening day. I went to Circa Book. It felt like everybody was just watching that game, Torch. There's a bunch of games on the board. Everybody was looking at that Colorado shit. That's how much of an influencer that Deion is, bro. And everybody he bring on board with his kids, etc. And that kid Hunter is something else, man.
Now, real quick, I want to shout out Paul Robinson. His 41st birthday is coming up on Friday the 13th, which is actually today. Shout out to Paul Robinson. Happy birthday to you, my guy. You've been around for a long time, too. We appreciate your support, my guy, for sure. Speaking of somebody who's been supported this year heavily in the college football world, Alshon Gentry has more 20-yard rushes than he has rushes for loss this year. 24 to 23. That's unheard of.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So in the Heisman race, I think there's just one of two. It's him and Travis Hunter. Al, your thoughts on who you have as the Heisman Trophy winner?
I'm real big on what player can do more for his team. So the fact that Hunter is doing it on both sides of the ball, Torch, and on a high level too, I got to go with Hunter. Taking nothing away from Gentry. That's a real good back, like an old school running back, I call him. But I got to go Travis Hunter. I love the fact that you could do so many things with him. Shut him up at wide receiver, maybe even a punt returner. Lock up cornerback. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy does it all, and he's only going to get better, Torch. I'm going to leave it like that, bro. I'm going
for sure. I think he is pro ready for sure at the running back position. I've seen him do some pro things against pro players. And Anthony, shout out to Anthony Heath for bringing that to my attention. The same, I think it was Ohio State, was it? They had the dual running back squad this year, and Gentry did better than they did against pro who are going to be pro athletes coming up in this next draft. So Gentry, keep doing your thing. Travis Hunter is one of one right now in college football, being top 5 in both cornerback position and wide receiver position.
Facts.
Got to give him a lot of props for what he's done. But yeah, reminds me of Deion Sanders, DB.
I didn't want to say that. You know why I didn't want to say that? Because you ain't played 1 year in the NFL. I hate when they compare cats to cats. They ain't even do 1 year.
Right.
But I know where you're going with it, though. I know what you're saying, though. He's a baby college version of him, looking like he's going to end up. I got you, though. I know
that's Tyler Bush, by the way. That's not me.
Yeah.
That's not me. That's Tyler Bush. I don't think he's
okay. Yeah, I hate when they do that with baseball. You don't compare a guy. Now, you can say they got similarities. I could live with that.
Yeah, they do.
But the comparing killed it. But let me mention this before I forget, Torch. Gentry had a big game against #1 Oregon, but this was early in the year. 25 rushes, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and
So
that's
he
what
showed
I'm talking
out
about.
against the best team in football.
Yes.
If that don't hold weight, then I don't know what holds weight.
And Ohio State's running backs couldn't do what Gentry did against Oregon.
There
Correct.
you go.
There you go. Thank you for clearing that up too, because that's what I was talking about. For sure. What was I about to say? Yeah, my comparison isn't Deion Sanders. It's not even my comparison. Even isn't even Charles Woodson, because Deion Sanders and Woodson played special teams. Travis Hunter doesn't play special teams. He plays wide receiver and corner. Woodson and Sanders both played special teams as well. So that's the difference between those three.
Right.
Josh Allen has been picked to be player of the year.
You asking me that?
No, there it is right there. Player of the year.
Oh,
He's been picked to be player of the year. I like it. He has had 2 plays of the year, but I don't know if I want to give him that yet.
I'm gonna make something clear. Let me make something clear right now, guys. Make sure that you know you heard it from Al York. And when this happens, make sure you tell a lot of people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, my Instagram, and all that, because Lamar Jackson, after his last game, his mom's got in him. I don't know if y'all heard about this. She told him, stop living for your coaches, stop living for the people's on top. Go back to the old you and start running the rollouts instead of throwing and trying to make a play downfield. Go get those 10, 12 yards you used to get. And right now, this extra week that he had not to play is killing Lamar. If I'm you guys, I'm taking Lamar over on yards, rushing against the Giants. He is going to explode from this moment on, because that Eagle game, the bad taste is still in his mouth. Just remember I said that, guys. Take Lamar Jackson's on the overs, rushing, passing. He is going to come out with authority after that bad game against the Philadelphia Eagles at home, that they were up 9-0 and then lost the game outright.
Absolutely. I totally agree. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder. Brandon Samuels, what's good, my guy? Shout out to you. 1,000 snaps. Get a kid some rest at some point during the game. Absolutely. He's playing the Giants. Easy win. Woo! Now
ask him if he thinks they're going to cover the 16, because it's a 16-point spread.
Oh, will the
kind of have the highest spread of the year?
Yeah. Interesting. Lamar will be a giant killer for sure. Absolutely. Here's what I want to talk about. You mentioned the Eagles, so it's time to talk about the Eagles and those Cowboys real quick.
No, forget about my Cowboys. They're horrible.
Micah Parsons said he only had 1 double-digit target game since week 1. Are we serious? What's the point of paying him? I do not blame his frustrations. Micah Parsons on A.J. Brown expressing frustrations with the Eagles pass game. Now, for those who have been around, I'm sure you've heard the story. A.J. Brown came out publicly and talked about the frustrations with Jalen Hurts and how Jalen Hurts only had 108 yards against the Carolina Panthers, the last game they played where they won the game, whatever the case may be. But he only had 108 yards. He's not getting the targets he wants. Then Brandon Graham comes out on his podcast and makes it even worse by saying, yeah, A.J. Brown doesn't like Jalen Hurts, yada, yada, yada. Then after that, Nick Sirianni comes out and plays peacemaker, because right now his job, for some reason, even though the Eagles are 11-2, his job is in question right now. Decides to try to play peacemaker. And then Jalen Hurts comes out and says, I got love for all these guys. A.J. Brown, comes out and says, I'm just a competitor. I just want, the best. Do you think that Michael Parsons, first and foremost, should have been talking about any Eagles business to begin with?
No.
I agree.
You know
Michael.
why? You got
Yep.
too many issues at home, bro.
Yes. Thank you. Agreed.
I'm gonna just leave it like that. I'm not even gonna say anything else.
Al, you know what's funny? I'll say some tag. Are you tagging me? Tag team. All right, tag. The fire starter's gonna jump in on that. Why do I get the notion that Michael Parsons is pitching for his next team?
Probably. I sense that.
Because Micah, they need to mute your mic. You don't need a mic. This guy says some of the most buffoonish stuff that I've heard in a while. First, he was on the train of Mike McCarthy being gone. Then he said last week, let's run it back with Mike McCarthy in the year. We've been injured. Then when they beat the Giants, he said, coming. I'm like, coming where? I said, coming where? Where you coming to? The golf course? To a Mavericks game?
You ain't coming nowhere with Cooper Rush.
In the offseason? Where are you going? Where are you going? To a Mavericks game in the offseason? He must be going to one of those Dallas Stars games. Or maybe one of those WNBA games coming up, in the spring. He might be going to one of those games.
Or maybe going to see Uncle Drew and Doncic. You never know, baby.
Yeah, I mean, where you going, bro? After that embarrassing loss Monday night to the Bengals, I mean, that could have only happened to the Dallas Cowboys.
My man, that's another tough loss I had. I had +6. My man, I can't even start to tell you. I know you familiar with Grave Shift because I remember you was doing the Grave Shift and you used to do your shows out your job back in the days. You know the feeling of going to. I know you know the feeling of going to grave with a bad loss, dog.
Absolutely.
It's like I lost $300 and I make about $180 a night. It didn't match. It didn't match up to me. It's like, what the fuck am I going to work for? I'm not even going to make what I lost tonight. You understand me?
Right.
But that wasn't the moral of the story. The moral of the story was, you kick it off, right? You get a fumble. You could have locked the game up right there, and that dude went and touched the ball. Or however that panned out. I just know he had no reason to touch that ball that gave the Bengals the ball back.
No point to touch the ball. You blocked the punt.
What did he think in his mind that he was going to run it back or something? Like he was going to get a touchdown out of it? George?
I guess. Buffoonery.
What he seen his face on the ESPN channel or something? Because why the fuck you next to that ball?
Well, 27 is the reason
why. Top it all off, Torch. It looked like Cincinnati was setting up for the game-winning field goal, and my man Chase went and broke my cornerback up. As soon as he hit him with that fake, like to out of bounds, I already started throwing shit in my room I'm in right here, bro. Because I seen him going right to the house, bro. And there ain't no way Cooper Rush is giving me anything with less than a minute, bro. I don't even think Cooper Rush could throw the ball from the 50-yard line to the end zone, bro.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it a band. I don't even think he can reach the end zone from the 50-yard line. So when that happened, though, I know exactly, man, listen. Reason why, to answer your question with Pass, with the young boy, the young linebacker, losing brings the worst out of everybody, Torch. Like they said, winning solves basically everything, right? Mm-hmm. There's a flip side to that story that a lot of people don't mention. Losing does the opposite shit. And right now in Cowboy Town, seeing Jerry Jones' stupid ass face every time and that $1 billion playpen, that suite that he be in, and every time they show footage on him, it's a guaranteed loss. Just like when they show Homegirl from Kansas City, it's a guaranteed win.
Oh, yeah. Taylor Swift.
Am I lying or not? Every time they show that broad, you gotta go run to your phone, to the casino, and you make that bet. Whatever the money line is, just lay it down, because they're not gonna lose, fam. I'm gonna leave it like that, man. I'm so embarrassed of my team. I'm this close from making a video of just letting my team go, but I can't do that because it goes against my loyalty ways. But I'm tired of seeing Jerry Jones run this organization. I mean, I might just disqualify them until he retires. I'm not going to jump on no bandwagon torch. I'm not going nowhere else. I'm just going to fall back and just be a regular football fan. And then when we start making the changes, then I can come back and love my team. Because right now, I can't fuck with them, dog. I just can't, bro.
I'm blaming you. It's rise up late night. Let it out, bro. It's rise up late night. I'm going to
say just like that.
For sure. All right.
Torch, you know I got 3 shows tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
You got to save me some energy now. Don't go air me out, and then tomorrow I ain't got nothing in my tank, bro.
Well, so we got about 10 minutes, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Dallas Massey, what's good? Shout out to you. I just wanted to put it out there right now. Everybody who's been tuning in, I appreciate you greatly. We got about 10 minutes. 10 minutes left in the show. I wanted to give y'all some more, a couple more informational pieces, and then I wanted to say the best conversation for last with me and Al York. As far as the college football playoff, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. We're going to get right into that.
Nice.
But let me give you some of these stats real quick. As you can see, completion percentage through week 14. Who's on top of the league? Top 10. All right. I'll give it about 10, 15 seconds. You see who those players are, and we're going to move to the next. All right. We're going to move. All right. Now, we're going to move now. We're going to go to this. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it at that for that part. You get to see that. The next show, I will show you all the rest of the stats from, you know what? Maybe I can show them. All right. I'll give them to you now real quick. Passer rating, Lamar Jackson is number 1 in the league.
Wow.
For this one.
That's insane.
As you can see. I was going to wait, but yards per attempt. Tyler, I got to get up for work in the morning myself at 8, and you know that it's a blizzard out here actually right now.
Good luck, bro. Good luck.
Interceptions. Kirk Cousins leads the league right now in interceptions.
Fucking Kurt just fell off the bandwagon, dog.
I would send them McDermott for a pack of raisins. I cannot. Ramona. Joe Burrow with the most passing touchdowns right now.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's having a crazy year. They just can't win no games.
I told y'all the Bengals wasn't making the playoffs for the 2nd straight year.
You know what? The biggest thing beside a defense, going missing, is losing Mixon, man. Losing Mixon was huge.
Yes, huge.
I love Mixon. I love what he brings to C.J. Stroud in the Texas. Mixon was huge for them, and I think he's on top of their defense failing them, but Mixon not being there to get those tough yards is killing them, bro.
I agree. I totally agree. All right. Moving right along. All right. So we'll stop there. Now, I want to talk about, and I'm going to put us right where we need to be.
Let's go, Torch. Let's go, Torch. Let's get them, baby. You said we wasn't going to play with them, Torch. So let's do what we do,
not
baby.
Playing. We're not playing with them. The college football playoff.
Woo!
I guess I will. I guess I got to put up the stat for it. I guess.
I mean, I can say them if you want. I could go game by game.
Yeah, you can just say them. Go ahead and say them. My guy Al York, I already know him. Go ahead and say them, Al. Give it to him.
First game we're having on a Friday night. You know what? I didn't get the date, but you know it's about past the December 21st. I didn't get the date. It's like the December 21st on, I think, if I'm correct. But you're gonna have the Indiana Hoosiers 11-1 versus the 11-1 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The line is minus 7.5 for the Irish, 50.5 totals. I'm gonna start with you. Is it all right that I pretend I can run this segment on your show?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll answer.
7.5. What's your take? And then I'll give you my take on this game, bro.
So let me start off the take by saying the Indiana Hoosiers, y'all basketball squad ain't even been that good since the Hoosiers movie. And your football program, I
Keith
guess.
Smart. Remember Keith Smart?
Keith Smart. I guess football program decided to move in and
Facts.
pretend to be really good, because the Indiana Hoosiers, by the way, for anybody who's been watching, have only beaten unranked teams all year. The only team that they played that was ranked this year was the Ohio State Buckeyes, in which they lost 38-15. I smell fraudulent all over this 11-1 Indiana Hoosiers team.
Wow.
But they are playing the choke artist coach in Marcus Freeman from the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Okay, I got it right. December 20th. Let me correct that. This game is on December 20th, and then the 21st will be Saturday. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you that I think that the Irish will get through this game because they have more competition. They've played better competition.
Yes.
They have more pedigree and experience than the Indiana Hoosiers. So I have the Fighting Irish winning by at least 7 points minimum. I think this is going to be interesting to see what that defense from Indiana does with the offense of Notre Dame. That will be the X factor to me. I can't wait to see it.
So at 7.5, what are you saying? Does Notre Dame cover the 7.5?
They'll cover
or
it.
Indiana covers it?
Notre Dame will cover it.
Well, if I'm a betting man, I would recommend people to buy it down to 7, which means buy a 0.5 point, just so that if it falls on 7, Torch, you get that push.
Absolutely.
Well, first of all, I think this is a big line. Hoosiers' only loss, like you said, was to the Buckeyes. Notre Dame's only loss was to Northern Illinois. A lot of people forgot that.
MAC conference, by the way. I see them
and
all the time.
Everybody was going after their heads. But I'm going to tell you something, Torch. Kind of what Lamar's going to do after that Eagle game, Notre Dame and company did after that Northern Illinois game. They blew everybody out after that.
Absolutely.
And they were playing decent teams. Not no top-ranked teams, decent teams. You know, matter of fact, let me mention a couple. I know USC was one of them. A lot of people might think USC and all that. But let me tell you something. USC ain't bad. They got a lot of talent. They just cannot put it together. They beat up Louisville.
I'm waiting for you to mention the team that they played.
Louisville, Georgia Tech. You know what I'm saying? Those ain't bad teams. They're not great teams, but they're not bad teams. What you was going to say there, brother?
I'm still waiting on the one team for you to mention that Notre Dame played and blew out this year. That was right.
I hope you're not going to say Army.
I was about to say.
I ain't gonna lie, Army can never fuck with no real top teams.
Nah.
But you know what? They had a great year. Salute to Army, but Army, Navy, Air Force, I'm not gonna lie to you. I never take those teams serious if they have a good record or not. They just seem like when they play these high-ranked teams, they just nowhere to be found, Torch. You understand what I'm saying? Like when Notre Dame beat them, it was 49, I think, 14. And they might have gave them a touchdown at the end, like like a little, you know how when you playing your little brother basketball, your nephew, you know how you let him score a little on you? Like he don't feel that bad? It was one of those kind of touchdowns they gave him. So basically, they just in the league that they're in the league that they don't belong in. But salute to Army and everything that they doing over there. I love to see the Army Navy game. I used to hate that game, but when you making money every time they play, taking the under, it becomes a little bit fun, Torch. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I'm gonna leave it like that. But back to the Notre Dame game, not to be skipping the main topic at hand. I seen something in Notre Dame. I said it on my show, and my boy was like, "Oh, you gotta be a fan. They choke all the time, Al York." But I'm gonna tell you something. I sense to have a good eye on certain shit, and I don't know. I think if Notre Dame, which I think they will get through Indiana, and you got the lineup in front of you, who they play next, one of the teams that got the bye. Do you have that in front of you, Torch?
Notre Dame's schedule.
Hold up, I'll tell you right now. I got it. If Notre Dame wins this game, they play Georgia. That's the problem. That's my problem. If they could have got that Georgia game later, where they put together 2 good games there, Torch, and then go play Georgia, I think they could deal with Georgia. But the fact that you get 1 game and then you play Georgia immediately, I think the Bulldogs are going to handle them, dog. So I say Notre Dame goes 1 and out. But I was hoping that they could have got to the conference finals or the chip. But I don't know if they're going to get through Georgia Bulldogs, fam. I'm gonna keep it a band. Now, remember, Georgia's quarterback is out, but we don't know how much he's out for. Is he out for the year entirely, Torch, or?
So they haven't came up with an official word on how long he's out for, but he is a day-to-day.
Yeah, because Beck, the kid Stockton played good as a backup. And I'm not too big on Beck, but Stockton ain't Beck. You understand what I'm saying? Stockton's not Beck. If you seen, they almost took his head off. The Longhorns literally almost decapitated his head on that head at the end of the game. You need to watch that replay, Torch. It looked like the dude's head came off with the helmet. But anyway, I'm going to say Notre Dame gets by. You want to move on, or you want to have any last takes on this?
Give me what play did you want to see the play on again?
What was that?
What play did you want the replay on again?
Oh, the Texas Longhorns when they hit Stockton. When they popped the quarterback
at the end of the game?
Yes.
Okay.
You gonna pull that up, or you want me to wait, or?
No, you can go ahead. I'm gonna go look for it.
Okay. I thought you were gonna work that magic immediately. I was gonna tell you, you need to show me how you do that shit.
I will.
You got it?
But I got the record right here for you too.
Okay.
I got that right now. I'm gonna go look up the video, but you could go ahead and talk about the rest of them.
Okay, we're gonna move on to game number 2. You got the 11-2 SMU Mustangs versus the 11-2 Penn State Nifty Lions. And the line is -8.5 for Penn State, 53.5, Torch. I'm going to give you the ability to talk about it first, and then I'll come right behind you, brother.
So, again, this is another one of those games. This is another one of those games. We just talked about Indiana and Notre Dame, and now I got to talk about James Franklin. I got to talk about James Franklin being the choke artist coach for the whiteout Penn State Nifty Lions. I got to talk about him now.
Right.
Choke artists when it comes to top teams, choke artists is what I get from the Nifty Lions. Now, SMU did lose their conference championship to Clemson, which shows you that they were outclassed, even though they lost by a field goal. But for majority of the game you watch, they're not big enough to keep up with teams that are big. Penn State is a big team. They're a bigger team.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a
It
feeling
felt like
that
Clemson took their foot off the pedal there, Torch.
they did. They
And then
did.
once that happened, SMU stormed back late and
Yes.
could have kind of like, won the game. They even tied it. And then
Yeah.
Clemson hit that game-winning field goal right before regulation.
Absolutely. I mean, that field goal was from what, 57 or 62?
Yeah, that was 50. That was 50 and change right there. That was 50 pieces and change. And he hit that like nothing. That was like sweet.
Yeah, Purdue, no. Ramona. Indiana doesn't have great defense, by the way. Just want to put that out there. I sent you the video. Oh, Ramona sent me the video. Hold tight. Look, I love Ramona. Ramona sent me the video of what you're looking for. She already sent it to me.
Go ahead, Ramona.
I'm about to go grab that video right now.
Ramona, make sure you follow. I'm going to follow you back, girl.
By the way, Albert, I put this out there. Ramona Dot has been the graphic designer to these videos, to the intro videos, the whole night, the things that you see, intros, the intros. That is all Ramona Dye. She's phenomenal.
That's what's up.
She is phenomenal at the work she does. So
that's what's up. I would love the link.
I pulled this up real quick, and this is what we're looking for. Here's the video. Massive hit on Gunnar Stockton.
I mean, that young boy played hard, though, man.
That
young boy was out there.
Just a moment.
Yo, he laid it on the line, Torch. But, he forgot where he was at. And that's when they almost took his head off. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to laugh, but
yeah,
that's exactly what I remember right there. No, that's actually Beck. That looked like Beck right there.
Yep, but they'll show the play in a second.
Okay.
I think they're going through the motions as far as the lead up to it.
Got you. Well, are we going to see the video or just like a picture of it?
Okay, watch this. I think I can still get the video regardless. I still think I can get the video regardless. Hold on. Stockton gets drilled by Texas DB video. Here it is, right here. Got it.
Open that up. Open that up, Torch.
That right there?
Bam! God damn. Y'all was in the sports book. I was like, wow. Like I said, it hit different when you watching that Flintstone view. It just hit different, family.
Yep.
That's a tough kid, though. He tried to shake it off.
Ooh.
See, that slow mo doesn't look as devastating as normal. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because right here, look
normal shit.
Ow.
Boom. God damn. See, but when you slow it up, it doesn't look as effective.
Mm-hmm.
We was in the book. We was like, God damn, we got to put the ambulance on the field, something. But I ain't gonna lie though, the kid's he's tough. He got up all dizzy. He was looking like my man. What's my man name? Like Zab Judah. I don't know if you remember Zab Judah when he got knocked out by what's the homeboy name again? Damn, I can't remember that dude's name. Costa Zoo. Remember he tried to get up too quick and he was drunk?
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
He's drunk.
That's what Stockton tried to do. He tried to get up quick and he was still drunk. Yeah, that was crazy right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was boom. Yo, dog, and he kind of went in there like when he got through the first guy, his aggressiveness to me, wasn't at his peak because he had to get through one. So when I hit Kane, he wasn't really ready for that kind of impact, Torch. Another cat, that could have broke his neck, man.
Yeah.
You feel me? I mean,
yeah, I do.
Thank God that this is a tough kid, like, because that could have been career ending for some cats, man. I mean, I've seen less than that, Torch. Like the guy from the Saints. The guy from the Saints that he's been a vegetable for a while. You remember what I'm talking about? That he used to go to the game that I had the chair for him with the screen. His shit was way less than that. And but he got hit in the wrong spot. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you want to move on though, or you want to keep talking about this here, Torch?
I got Penn State winning, unfortunately, just because I think that SMU is outclassed. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Penn State's the one that catches the loss first round.
I'm gonna bid different. Franklin already is known as a choker. He knows that. I think he's got a different way of looking at the game, coaching the game. I think they're a lot better. If you watch them against the Ducks, they played good enough to win, Torch, though they didn't. But they were hanging with the Ducks there. They really were hanging with the Ducks. And this is a Duck team with Gabriel and company. I mean, these guys can score on every play, my man. Yeah. The Ducks are nasty. You thought they was nasty last year with Bo Nix. I think they're another level better this year. That's just my opinion, bro. That's just my opinion. Gabriel out there, and I'm not comparing him to this guy. He reminds me of a young Steve Young. Reminds me. I'm not comparing them. I don't do the comparing shit when you didn't step 1 year in the NFL. I don't do that. But he's got a lot of Steve Young. Like, he watched a lot of Steve Young video, but he's not an escape goat like Steve Young. He can run, but Young was just like on another level when he ran. He was almost like a running back. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
You remember Young with that run against the Rams when he broke like 5 tackles and in the end zone? Yeah, I mean, this guy's not like that. But what Gabriel can do, he throws the ball similar to him, throws it on a spiral, and he can get you 8-10 yards if he needed. And that's what makes them really tough. And I think that because of that, they could win this whole thing. You feel me? But I got the nifty Lions winning this game. I think they're gonna make SMU one-dimensional in this game. And I think I'm not gonna say they're gonna steamboat them, but they'll probably beat them by 10 plus points. It's my opinion on this game here, Torch.
Gotcha.
Want to go to game 3, or you got any last words?
No last words for it, because he got to show me better than he can tell me. So he got to show me better than he can tell me.
I think they get through this game, but I agree with you. Once you put a similar team on the other side of the football, is why I'm going to see what Penn State is at. And I guarantee you, the game after this, let me make sure, because I don't think they travels is as tough as Notre Dame's. Because Notre Dame's going to have to play Georgia. If Penn State wins this game, they play Boise State. That's a very winnable game. They might be favored in that game. They're going to be favored in that game. But Boise's playing tough now. But they still going to be favored because of tougher scheduling, tougher teams they play. You know, Boise don't really play nobody, though they played the Ducks this year, but they don't really play nobody. You know that.
That's the only team they played this year with the Ducks.
See, look at that. I didn't even do the homework, and you're answering it for me. Only team they played. You see what I'm saying? Now, UNLV is a tough team, but they're not on this level right here. UNLV is a tough team, like in the MAC area and all that, but not in this level of football. You don't mention UNLV. You feel me?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go. You ready to go to game 3?
Absolutely. It's already up for you.
Okay, 10-3 Clemson Tigers versus the 11-2 Texas Longhorns. The Longhorns are minus 11.5, another steep number. 51.5. Talk to us.
I'm gonna be honest. I had Texas or Georgia winning the whole thing this year. I'm gonna
I had
stick by
Texas
that
too.
pick.
Yeah.
Dabo Sweeney's a good coach though. You got to watch out because he has
Yep.
championship
Yep.
pedigree
Yep.
already. This is
Great
one of
point.
those games you have to watch.
Great point.
You have to watch. This is not one of those games you could sleep. You definitely got to watch out for Clemson. You see what they did to SMU. Obviously, they won their conference. That's why they're in with 3 losses. They won the conference. Gotta watch out. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Texas has been known to give up big plays sometimes in games. I need Texas to play clean football. They can play clean football. Yours can play clean. I got Texas winning this game.
It's a big difference to me, Torch, between a Mustang and a Longhorn. They ain't gonna fuck with the Longhorns. Not after that loss, that back-to-back loss to the Bulldogs. I think Longhorns are looking here to make a statement. I think Clemson, Dabo Sweeney did a remarkable job with a mediocre team. They're not the Clemson teams we are accustomed to seeing. Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson type teams. No, they're not those kind of teams. But like you said, Dabo's so good in what he does, bro. You take a mediocre team and make them look like something. But it stops on the 21st, Torch, because them Longhorns is going to run all over those cats, bro. That's just my opinion. Any last words, or you want to go to this game 4, Torch?
Real quick, I'll show you guys this real fast just because it pertains to what we're talking about currently. Real fast before we get to game 4. The odds right now for who wins the national championship are as
that's
follows.
good. I like that. I know they got the Ducks leading that, unless they change of late.
There you go. Right there.
I'm trying to find it. Give me a minute. Ducks still leading the pack?
It's on your screen.
No, they're still showing me some others. Okay, there it goes. Oh, they tied with the Longhorns. Yo, that's crazy because the Bulldogs beat the Longhorns twice, and they still got the Longhorns on number 1. It should be the Ducks and then the Bulldogs. That's my opinion. Then the Longhorns because of those 2 losses to the Bulldogs. But they know something. To them to have them number 1, top of number 1, is because these guys know something. These professionals setting up these lines know something, Torch.
Absolutely. They do know something. Speaking of knowing something, I know that this is probably going to be the most interesting game of the 4 without the bye. Yeah, absolutely. Tennessee versus
like the
Ohio
Indiana
State.
Notre Dame game. I think Indiana has a lot to prove that they not just 11-1 for no reason. I think that's going to be the game of the week. But this is a good game too. Don't get it. Don't get it twisted.
This one is very close. This one is very close in proximity. You got the Tennessee team from the SEC, and you got the Ohio State team from the Big 12. Honestly, Big 10.
7.5 though.
I don't think it's going to be 7.5. Tennessee has really good defense. We're going to see.
Right.
That'll be the difference. Ohio State's offense has been a little stagnant this year at times during football games.
Yeah, that Michigan loss was like that Michigan loss. They wanted to kill that coach, man. I was listening to all kind of stuff. Yo, they wanted him ran out of there immediately. Torch.
Love you, Ramona. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, here we go again. Speaking of choke artists, Ryan Day might be the biggest of choke artists in this scenario. He might be the biggest choke artist.
I don't know if he's bigger than Franklin. I'm gonna give Franklin that title, Torch.
Franklin, yeah.
I'm gonna give James Franklin that title. But Dave's right there. You ain't lying to me. He's right there.
All right.
It's just like Lamar. It's like Lamar and Josh Allen. They right there.
All right.
You feel me?
So I got a question for you.
Talk to
If
me.
Penn State wins and Ohio State loses, does your thought change?
It would have to.
Okay. There you go.
You know why? Because they both once 8.5 favorite, once 7.5 favorite. If you 7.5 favorite, Ohio State has to win this game.
So I'm going to put this out
That's
there.
more
now.
than a touchdown.
I'm gonna put this out there now. Dennis Holmes told me that a certain team didn't belong in the SEC, and he said that Tennessee could beat Texas. So now, if Dennis Holmes thinks that Texas doesn't belong in the SEC, well, here's your matchup to make me believe that Tennessee is as good as you say. Tennessee, Ohio State. I'm going to, Dennis Holmes, don't make me regret this. I'm going to take Tennessee. And
When you say you're taking Tennessee, you taking them to upset Ohio State?
Yes,
or
I
you're
am.
saying they're going to cover the spread?
I'm taking them to upset Ohio State.
So an outright win by the Volunteers.
Yep, outright win.
Okay, I can see that happening, especially after the way Ohio State lost to Michigan. But I see a really good game here. But something's telling me that Ohio State is going to pull it out late. Something's telling me they're going to pull it. They might not cover, though. So Tennessee would be a good pick to put your money on with the points, Torch.
Okay.
But I just think Ohio State will find a way to win. Maybe late field goal, late stop. I just think they'll find a way to win. That's my opinion on that right there, bro.
All right, cool. I'm glad that we got those 4 games out the way, because those are the 4 games we gotta deal with to even get this ball rolling. We got 4. I think there's 4 byes. The byes are Oregon, Boise State, Arizona State, and
ASU.
Georgia.
One of my hosts' cousin is a wide receiver, Auxiliary Guillory. My man Mark Guillory's on my show every other week. Yeah, he's been talking smack about him the last couple years, and the fruits is showing now because I slept on ASU, bro. And I know you're not a believer. I could tell how you just said when you said Arizona State that you're not a believer. Am I lying or not?
You're right.
But bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. If you watch the Cyclone game, I thought the Cyclone was gonna put hands on them, dog, and they put hands all on the Cyclones with their top receiver out, bro. Now, I'm not saying they're gonna win anything, but the fact that they made the playoffs, I'm gonna use Jim Morris shit. Playoffs? I was amazed, though. I was amazed to even hear they made the playoffs, bro. But not saying they didn't earn it, not saying they didn't earn the torch, but I did not see this coming. Just like I didn't see Russell Wilson leading the Steelers like he's leading them now after the way he looked with the Broncos. You feel me?
Yeah. So here's the 12-team bracket right here, the full bracket. Yep. Arizona State would have to play Texas or Clemson coming up. I think Arizona State might be going one and done. I think they're playing a game and they're done. I don't think they're even winning a game.
Well, if Clemson could upset Texas,
now that's where you might get.
Then they'll definitely could sneak that. But if the Longhorns do what me and you know they're gonna do, Arizona State's gonna be one and out, bro.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yep.
This bracket is very interesting because I have Georgia and Texas going at it for a 3rd time for the national championship. I think 3 times is going to be a charm. Texas wins the championship.
Okay. Now let me ask you something. Something a little different there, Torch.
Yeah.
What's your take on this 12-team playoffs, which was 4, now it's 12? I needed raw, like I go by the raw truth.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Excuse my
Raw.
language. Excuse my language. No baby owe you either, baby. No
Oh
baby
yeah.
owe you. I
Nah,
need it raw, baby. No
you about
pause
to
on
get
that.
it. You about
Pause
to
on
get it.
that. But you know what I'm
You about to
saying.
get it. You about to get it. Ice Cube, no Vaseline.
Yes. Pause, but I got you.
Pause.
Yeah.
But yeah, no Vaseline on this one. Let me start
Do
out.
you think it's watered down? Let me make it easier for you, because I'm putting it out there in a way where I gotta make it more convenient for you to answer the question. Not that you can't, because I know you could. But
I'm ready.
is it watered down, you think, or you think it could use more teams, or you like it right where it's at? Talk to me.
All right. So my answer right off the jump, I'm going to get to the root of it.
Go ahead, brother.
The NCAA is a bunch of bunch of fuck boys. The committee is a bunch of fuck boys. Let's be
I
clear.
agree.
Fuck
I agree.
boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they
Don't
come for
do
you?
come for you.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been lucky though. They've been lucky because when they left TCU out with the quarterback Boykins, who passed away, rest in peace to Boykins. You remember that team, right?
Yes, I do.
Ohio State was the team they slid in with Carlton Jones as their quarterback, and nobody agreed with that.
Yeah,
but when they
Cardale
got
Jones.
lucky at Torch, Ohio State being the last seed, won it all.
Yes.
So
With
that
Cardale
overcame all that TCU shit.
Yeah.
And then
agreed.
last year, I kind of agree with the Seminoles not being there without their quarterback, even though everybody disagreed.
So here's what I will
talk to us.
Here's what I'll say off the jump. Number one, the committee is a bunch of fuck boys. Last year, let's be clear, the ACC bias that they have, the prejudice that they have against the ACC is absolutely ridiculous. For the first time last year, we had a undefeated conference championship in a Power 5 school, a Power 5 conference, not make the playoff only because of an injury. Now, we all know that injuries take place in sports. So are we going to every single time a player gets injured, we're going to omit the right for all those other players that was on the team? I'm talking about kids who are All-Americans who dreamed of being in the position that they were in, being undefeated, that dreamed of this.
Right.
I tell people to take all of the glit glamour bullshit out of it and put the humane aspect in it. If this was you and you, blood, sweat, and tears, fought all the way to the point where Florida State got last year, and just because you had an injury, you had your dream snatched from you.
Can I respond to that?
Huh?
Can I respond to that?
Yes.
On the stipulations, Torch, it says they can bar a team due to a big injury. That's the only reason why I respected the decision. But you just made it right now. You just gave me a whole other picture how to look at it. And I'm like, God damn, Torch got me like really feeling like the Seminoles should have got in.
Yeah, because I just feel again.
Yeah, because you broke it down. You broke it down like, how about the other players?
Injuries happen though.
But they do got it in the stipulation. And Torch, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and be fake. You're making all the sense in the world, bro. But I didn't want to see the Seminoles without their man out there. I'm just gonna keep it real. And did you see what happened to Georgia in the bowl game? They got 63-3, some shit like that.
The committee did that on purpose. That was a smack in Florida State's face to be like, well, if you think you should have been in the playoff, we ain't letting you in the playoff. But if you thought that you was good, let's sick Georgia on you. In which let's not forget that none of the starters played for Florida State in that game either. All the starters omitted. They absolutely declined to play in that game. So Florida State was playing with third stringers against Georgia anyway.
Well, I got to
So
look that up because I didn't get that information. I'll probably
absolutely.
Yeah, I got to look that up. I know I'm pretty sure a lot of them left the game early, maybe, but I could have sworn they had their unit in there. But listen, I totally understand what you're saying. I'm not saying you wrong. Me as a fan, I want to see the best quality competition game out there. I don't want to see no -16 because Gentry's out or the quarterback from the Texas Longhorns. Even though they got two of them, they could go Manny or Ooze. But you know what I'm trying to say. I want to see the best guys in there competing. But I do agree with what you said. I do agree with what you said. They deserved it all year. How do you just take it from them? So
but I will
get it.
give you another angle.
Yeah, it's
let
tough,
me give you another angle too on that.
Yeah.
Before I get into the rest of the spiel about it, let me get another angle. Michigan last year with J.J. McCarthy. Do you know what Michigan's offense was ranked last year?
It wasn't that much up there. That's a fact because McCarthy, they was games he'll throw the ball like 8 times.
Right. So
it couldn't be that high. So they was smash mouthing their way through the shit.
Right. So here's my question to you. Florida State won 3 games last year without Jordan Travis. They won the ACC championship without Jordan Travis. You don't think that Florida State versus Michigan would have been a good competitive game, even though Florida State probably would have lost? You don't think that would have been a good competitive game? Because let's be clear, Florida State was tops in the league last year in defense. Remember, Florida State,
correct me if
literally
I'm wrong.
Verse, the guy who plays for Rams.
Right. But correct me if I'm wrong, Torch. Wasn't the Seminoles down to their 3rd string? Not even the 2nd string. It was the 3rd string.
Well, the 2nd string quarterback would have been able to come back for that game had it been played. They were down to their 3rd string the last game of the season, but the 2nd string would have been able to come back.
That makes more sense to me.
That makes more sense to me. My thing is Florida State with their 2nd string quarterback going against Michigan. To me, with those defenses being the way that they were,
that would have been a good game.
Kind of seen a game like you saw tonight with the San Francisco 49ers in the Rams.
No, that would have been a good. I agree with you. That would have been a good game.
You would have seen that type of game. And to me, I think that Florida State deserved the right to at least have that opportunity. Because
but I'm gonna tell you one thing though, the way you mentioned Michigan offense wasn't all that. Their defense was top notch, bro.
Yes, and so was Florida State.
You see how they shut your boy Penix down?
Oh, absolutely. Not only did they shut Penix down, so remember the week before they beat Alabama. The team
but they didn't shut down their court. Alabama moved the ball. They scored.
Yeah, well, Alabama again,
but they shut Penix down.
Yeah, well, Penix.
Yeah, Penix. I had Penix, so I know. I had Penix plus, I think, 8, and still didn't even cover that shit.
Well, to me, I think Penix in Washington is a total different monster than Alabama and Nick Saban with the quarterback that they had last year.
Right.
And Murrow. I think Alabama would have probably beat Washington too. Had it went that way, I think Alabama would beat Washington too. So my thing is, I just think that we should have gotten Michigan versus Florida State. Because again, Alabama lost 2 games last year in the conference. They lost 2 games. They beat Georgia. They did beat Georgia, but they lost 2 games. And those 2 games.
Torch, they coming out the SEC though, Torch.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm glad that you say that because it's going to get to the rest of my point. And that is going to get to where we are now.
Yeah, you got to remember that.
SEC, it is inevitable that the SEC is always going to have the greater strength of competition for 2 reasons. 2 reasons. The money and the talent and recruits and scouts. They will always have that. That is inevitable. So as it pertains to now the college 12, we can't continue to use that SEC excuse. That's the reason why they made it from 4 teams to 12, to get away from that excuse. Because if
right.
using that
No,
same
but it's
excuse,
but listen, Todd, it's the legitimate excuse. Like, I'm gonna give you an example, right? My man the other day, I was talking to my man. It's off of sports, but it kind of the same situation. He said, "What up, Al? What you up to?" I said, "I'm paying bills, man." He said, "You always fucking say that. Tell me something else." And I'm like, "What else there's to tell you, dog? My bills keep going up." You feel me? So
I
saying
got to
that,
rebut to that though.
yeah, saying that is the SEC's always, at least seemingly for the last 10 whatever years, it's the tougher conference until you could prove to me otherwise.
Right. The SEC is always going to be the tougher conference, though, because the money and because of the recruits that goes to the money, especially with the NIL deals now. That makes it even worse. With the NIL deals now, the NIL deals, they are bigger in Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Mississippi State. Who else? They got Auburn, South Carolina. This is all SEC. By the way, Texas is now SEC. Texas.
Look at that.
They're all always going to be that because that's where the NIL deals are. The money is there, right? That's why people are surprised about Bill Belichick being the coach at UNC now, because it's like, Bill, you know where you going, right? You're going to the ACC that's not as respected. Now you got to go get recruits. You got to go against the SEC, get these recruits and the NIL deals. This is a different monster from the NFL, which brings me to my thought. In the NFL, sir, regardless if you in whatever conference you win, is it always fair that a team that may have won 7 games in a conference but won their division, is it fair that they get in the playoffs over a team that's in another conference that might have won 11 games, but because another team won 12 games, they're not in the playoffs? Don't you hate that? Don't you hate seeing that?
Yeah, but I understand because they division winners.
Right. Oh, say that again. Say what you just said.
Division winners.
Okay. So let me.
Now you gonna bring up that injury shit, but I told you there's speculation with that. They got their own rules that they could take a team out
though,
via an injury.
Right, but
via an injury.
Right.
Stipulations. Let me say it right. Not speculation. Stipulations. Let me say it right.
That stipulation to me is why I say fuck boys. Because
right. Yeah, and it opens the door to do a lot of fuckery. I agree.
What sport are you most susceptible to get injured in? Football or baseball?
No, I get that.
What sport are you more injury prone to get injured in? Football or basketball?
Yeah, I get it.
Football. What sport are you more prone to get injured in? Football or hockey? Football. So my thing is,
but football, you don't get your teeth knocked out. Hockey, you do. So both of them. I would say both of them.
Yeah,
even though Anquan Bowden got a couple teeth knocked out and like 68 stitches in his mouth, but that's one of the few times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hockey, that shit happens every year. Somebody's teeth come out of some shit.
Oh, absolutely, because of the hits and all that.
There you go. And the pucks and all that other shit.
But most physical sport is football. We know this. That's why I say that's fuckboyish to me.
But Torch, if your quarterback, when I say your quarterback, because you love the conference and all that, but if that quarterback did not get injured, I think you guys are in. Regardless if the top running back went out, top tight end, top defensive end.
Absolutely.
It's the
but my
quarterback.
Thing is, they should have been in anyway.
I got you. And I'm not mad at you either.
For the right. Now, let's just say, watch this. What would have happened if Florida State would have lost any of those games? Where does Florida State get ranked then? That's my point. Like, they won the ACC championship and went from 4 to 5. How do you lose? How How do you go down in ranking, but you won your championship?
I get it.
Without
I get it.
your quarterback.
Listen,
You see what I'm saying? Like that to
I
me
get
was
it. Listen,
kind of crazy.
if we went to court, you win the case because you have the evidence to win the case.
Right.
But I'm not gonna lie to you, Torch. I'm Al York. I go by the raw truth for a reason. I could like you and all that. Doesn't mean I'm gonna agree with you.
Right. And that's fine and dandy. I understand your take on it.
But I agree with the facts you got. You got, my man. If it was a murder, the information you got, dude's gonna do life in prison with the information you got. But the problem is when they threw that stipulation that they can take out a team via an injury, that made me understand it. And I knew about that before the injury. So I was already alerted on something like that. Now, if you wasn't alerted to that, oh, that must have smacked people in the face like it did everybody real hard because they wasn't alerted about that. I've been up on that rule because I remember some guys. Yeah.
In all honesty, I never even knew that rule existed until you just told me.
Yeah, and the only reason why I know because I was watching some college football shit, and they was talking about that. And I said, "Yo, this is kind of interesting." And when I heard it, I was like, "These guys are really gonna have this shit the way they want it because now, if a top running back or quarterback, even though I hope they never do it with a running back, because that's like too much. I think the quarterback is the main player. Would you agree with me?"
Absolutely.
So if the quarterback is playing, let those teams rock out, man. But if the quarterback is out and he's a stud, like right now, if you took Josh Allen out of Buffalo, now if they in first place, unlike college, they're gonna represent their division. But I'm gonna be betting all against them with the backup. Because you're not Josh Allen, bro. The team ain't gonna run the same way as it's running with Josh Allen.
True, but here's something we need to think about real quick, and I totally agree. I understand that styles make fights, and that when you lose a star quarterback, you might lose the steam on a game because the game may not be as competitive being their second string.
Now, if you got a game manager, like a Sam Darnold was in Frisco, oh, the chances are great. But a lot of teams don't got that backup, Torch.
Right. I totally agree. I totally understand what the parallel reason was for them doing that. But here's what you have to be very mindful and very careful of.
Talk to me.
Doing that. So this happened to the ACC, right? Last year, right? Yep. This year, Miami gets booted.
I was just talking about that with my
all
man.
Year, Miami was in, but because Miami lost on the road by 5 and 4 points, Miami got booted from the playoff. They had Alabama, and this is where the committee fucks up, though, to me. The committee had Alabama in with 3 losses, with Miami only having 2 losses by 5 and 4 points. But Alabama lost to 2 unranked teams this year. Oklahoma.
I remember you put a score up. I remember that.
Absolutely. 24-3. You scored 3 points against a 5-win team, Alabama did, and you lost by 21 points. Then you lost to Vanderbilt. The Commodores, really? The Commodores is a.
No, they played a couple of teams hard at home, though. I'm not gonna lie to you, though.
Yeah, but
I know what you're saying because I mentioned the Commodores to somebody saying that. How do you?
I thought that was a music group. I thought the Commodores was a music.
No, they are a music group back in the days. Detroit shit. Yeah, Detroit shit. But
right, the Commodores are more known for music than they're known for college football.
Yes, but they did play.
Lost to them.
Dog, I watched that game, dog. They outplayed Alabama that game, dog.
Right. And they
lost, really
right?
outplayed that game.
They lost 40, and they gave up 45 points to
Vanderbilt. Yeah, right? bad loss. Bad. But again, I'm gonna rebuttal what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
And then they lost to Tennessee, the exact team that's about to play Ohio State coming up.
Yeah, but you gave them high praise, so I don't want to hear nothing about that one.
Oh, I did. Wait a minute. I didn't give them high praise. Remember, I said Dennis Holmes gave them high praise.
Yeah, but you also agreed. You said they could win outright this game.
Yeah, I do believe because
so that is high praise. 7.5 points, Ohio.
Okay, defensively, I give them high praise, and I'm hoping I'm going off of that defensive high praise that I gave them and Dennis Holmes' comments. I'm going by those two and tying them together and saying Tennessee better beat Ohio State.
He's tied it together.
I'm tying it together, and Tennessee better beat Ohio State. But my thing is, Alabama, you lost to Tennessee. Volunteers, you lost to them by a touchdown. So my thing is, the league, I felt like the committee was complicit with the disrespect of the ACC from last year when they disrespected Florida State with the stipulation of the injury, not letting Florida State be in the playoff, be undefeated.
Right.
They disrespected Miami. Then what do they turn around and do? SMU loses to Clemson. Clemson is a 3-loss team. They win the ACC championship. And for a minute before the morning before, SMU was about to be out of the playoff too, until the committee thought about it and was like, can we really put another ACC team out? Another one? We already put Miami out. We're going to put SMU out too and put Alabama in over them too. We did this last year.
Yeah, that would have been overload.
It was kind of an overload, which is the reason why I started off this conversation by saying fuck boy committee. Because again, we can't use the SEC that strength of schedule shit because you expanded from 4 to 12. You did that purposely so that every conference champion could be in the mix.
There you go.
And every conference winner could be in the mix. Why are we once again putting another SEC team over a conference winner or a conference 11-win team again?
You want me to tell you why? Because they know that that's going to bring them more money. That's why they do
well, that's the thing. So my thing is that's why they did that to Florida State last year was the money thing, because obviously Jordan Travis wasn't in it. Alabama was a better draw.
It was a bigger game.
Bigger draw, bigger
game. Put it up to a bowl game and then putting somebody else in. It was a bigger draw. Let me rephrase. It was a bigger draw, Torch.
Right.
Because of Travis Kid not playing.
Right.
Now, if he was playing, I want them in, bro. I love that kid. I want them in.
And my thing is, my battle is integrity versus monetary.
Right.
Integrity versus monetary. The integrity is that this team was undefeated and won every game last year. This year, the integrity was SMU has 11 wins, Miami has 10 wins, and you were about to put a 3-loss Alabama team who we expanded the conference, the playoff for,
right?
So we wouldn't have this issue, and again over 2 ACC teams until the committee was like, "Oh, we might be overdoing it by doing that," and a lot of people will probably be pissed off with us for doing that. So we're gonna leave SMU in. We're gonna leave SMU in, but look who they playing now: Penn State. They get Penn State the first draw. You see what I'm saying? Which is probably going to be a loss. But my thing is, if 12 teams make it, there's going to be a 13th team that's going to complain and be like, "Why are we not?"
It's always going to be one team. You know that.
Always going to be that.
But I love the fact that they expanded because I hated to see TCU not make it that year, bro. And if you notice. They went and smoked Ole Miss that bowl game. Smoked.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They was +3 and won by like 40. I won good money that day.
Well, TCU and Boise State and TCU are the 2 teams. The reason why we even started this college playoff thing to begin with is
right. But let me pivot. Let me pivot before I forget. We're gonna go back to the Hurricanes. The reason why I got no sympathy for them, Torch. If you win this game against Syracuse, 12-point favorite, we're not having this conversation.
But Syracuse ain't no joke. I'm gonna go back to what you were saying with
No,
with
Q's is good at home. They good at home. They good. Like,
Syracuse
but they
ain't no
don't beat
joke.
teams. They cover. They cover 7s, 8s against high-ranked teams. But they beat Miami outright.
Yeah, but they also have knocked off some other teams in the last couple of
No,
years.
they better. Syracuse,
Yeah.
they 9-3. 9-3 is
That's in my neck of the
self-explanatory.
woods. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, the Canes were supposed to be there and whip some ass on a mandatory win game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So they did it to Torch. They did it to themselves, if you ask me. Unlike the Seminoles that won the last game.
Yeah, but do you know the other thing that counted against Miami, and again, this is me being unbiased, is the fact that they had to catch up a lot of games too this year. They had to come back and win a lot of games this year too. And remember that the committee still counts style points of how you win games still.
Oh, yeah, you heard me say that. Because you got people that I said, yo, God, there's a thing called style wins and style losses. And one of my guys was like, you sure? I said, yeah, college get on that bullshit like that.
Absolutely.
You know that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And Miami had to catch up a lot of games. That's why those 5 and 4-point losses on the road killed them, is because they looked at the rest of the season and was like, well, Miami had to catch up in a bunch of games just to win games.
Right.
They didn't
and games they were favored by a lot, like 7, 8 points, 10 points. So that means a lot.
So that was the other thing. So I do understand. I'm just saying again, my only argument with Miami was that they had 10 wins and 2 losses. That's it. That was my only argument.
I get it.
Now,
but they control.
I understand.
They control their own destiny, and their situation is different from the Seminoles because the Seminoles won that last game. You feel me?
Yeah.
To clinch. Now I know they had their third string. I get it, but I can see your argument more for the Seminoles because you have a case in your hand.
Yeah, absolutely. But my whole thing with the ACC.
But to me, Miami did it to themselves. You know you got to win. You know you're not that popular. You know you've been coming from behind winning these certain games. You got to win out. You have to beat Syracuse 12.7 at the Syracuse Dome. You got to win that game. No matter how tough they play, how many times they cover, you got to go there, Cam and company, and you got to leave out that building with a win, and they didn't do that. And that's why we having this conversation. Bottom line. It would have been Miami, SMU would have been out, and I would have liked the Miami-Penn State game better, to be honest with you, if that would have been the game.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't going to be no 8.5, Torch.
The fact that you just said that, see what I'm saying?
That ain't going to be no 8.5. That would have been 4.5. Because the Canes got talent, bro.
You see how you just said? Right. So my thing is Clemson got in too because they won the tournament. But let's be honest. Let's go back to the real. Clemson makes money. Clemson has won national championship.
Dabo, baby.
Right.
Yo, Dabo got a following of himself. Like 8 million some shit. Dabo.
That's why.
You know they love Dabo.
Absolutely. And that's why
he got a bunch of 20-year-old girls on the low. That old motherfucker got about 5 20-year-old girls. That's the guy over there, guy. Dabo's the guy.
Right.
But though they gonna go home early this year, though, because them Longhorns with that actor, what's his name? McConaughey and them motherfuckers all gonna be there. And they're gonna beat Clemson, bro.
Yeah, they'll beat Clemson. You know why. You know why. The money is the real thing behind a lot of that. And I think in a couple of years, it probably will go from 12 to 16.
Right. I just don't want it to get watered down. If there's any team that I'm looking at that's playing in the playoffs, and I understand you have to get SMU in there because of the year that they have, and you can't complain against a team that don't make the schedule and they beating everybody in front of them. I noticed that a lot of guys torture the team. It ain't the team's fault, Torch. They don't make the schedules.
Correct.
They can only play who's in front of them.
Exactly.
Right or wrong?
right? Which is the reason why the strength of schedule thing is why I say we can't keep using the SEC strength of schedule thing, because if that's the case, then they need to put all the teams in the SEC and make them all SEC teams. Then we don't have to have this conversation anymore about strength.
Well, I wasn't going there with it. I like how you transformed it to that. What I'm just basically saying, like, and another thing I don't like, Torch, and I hope you agree with me on this. Floyd Mayweather, he better hope I don't have a one-on-one with him. He got this shit where he goes, men lie, women lie, numbers never lie. That's bullshit. Numbers to me are very deceiving. Deceiving to me, it's a lie. If I deceived you, Torch, that's like a lie. Would you agree with me?
Absolutely.
Now, it's not maybe under the definition, but if you deceive me, that's a lie to me. So when Fresno State with Derek Carr went 14-0, why did two teams go to the chip, one with 2 losses and one with 1 loss? I know they're going to say strength of schedule. I get it. But then you can't say numbers never lie then. Because the numbers lie there because a 2-loss team and a 1-loss team is playing the chip while you playing some other team in a cheaper bowl game and you're saying, damn, we went undefeated. Why are we not in that game?
Absolutely.
And there wasn't no QB injury or nothing.
Agreed.
That's my point. That's why when people say that that numbers don't lie shit, put them in front of me, please.
Jay-Z said that actually.
I'll chew them up like I eat lamb chops, bro. I'll just tear me some lamb chops.
Floyd Mayweather got that from Jay-Z. Jay-Z said that in the line, the Ballin' remix, where he said men lie, women lie, but numbers don't.
Yeah, and you know why he says that too, right? Because he want to back up that 50-0 shit. And I'm not taking none away from Floyd, because early in his career, I hate to pivot here because we don't have enough time, but early in his career, Floyd fought who he had to. But the latter part of his career, dog, he was picking and choosing all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Am I lying, Torch? Torch, you still there?
Yeah, you know that.
Am I lying?
Yeah.
Then they gonna say one of my mans that look just like Dak Prescott. Now, he's a San Francisco fan. He looked just like Dak Prescott. He gonna tell me that Floyd never ran. If I remember, Torch, if my memory serves me correct,
that's a lot.
I haven't put a blunt in my mouth, Torch, in 25 years. If my memory serves me correct, didn't it take him 5 years to fight Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yes.
Come on, bro. But I'm going to leave it like that because I don't want people to think I'm a Floyd hater. I just don't think he's all what he makes himself to be. Great defensive fighter, undefeated, yes. He's got the brains of boxing over him between his uncles, his fathers, the what's his name, Bellamy, whatever his name is. He got all these architects of boxing on top of him, and he trains harder than anybody. I give him that. But you ain't even top 3 to me, dog. I'm gonna keep it a band. I start over Muhammad Ali. That's my number 1. Right. Then I could go to Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Julio Cesar Chavez. You know what? I'm gonna stop now because we're gonna go to a whole other entity, Torch.
Is he better than Sugar Ray?
I love Sugar Ray. His record's better than Sugar Ray's. If you want to go by numbers never lie, Floyd's better. But if you're gonna ask me watching Sugar's whole career and Floyd's, I'm taking Sugar all day. That's my guy. I even take the Hitman. I'll take the Hitman. His unorthodox style, fighting from a distance, hitting hard. Hitman be hitting hard, bro. They don't call him the Hitman for nothing. You feel me?
Absolutely.
But that's my opinion.
Speaking about numbers don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, brother.
Speaking about numbers don't lie, it pertains to Coach of the Year too. We talked about MVP, but we didn't talk about Coach of the Year. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That BS statement. Well, numbers can lie this one too. If I gave you a choice right now to tell me who should win Coach of the Year, who would you choose? And I'm gonna put up some stats. I'm gonna put up some Coach of the Year nominees and why you thinking about it. Now you see the first one.
Yeah, I'm already gonna lean with Tomlin. You know why? The fact that he
Mhm.
resurrected, Russell Wilson, because that's the word for it. Because if you remember when he was the Sean Payton, he wasn't shit in the bed. He was diarrheaing on the bed. And I don't want to hear, oh, but he had 25 touchdowns, 60. No, he was the check down master. Russell Wilson was
Uh,
the check
I
down
saw
master
him.
in Denver.
I saw him up close and personal last year in Buffalo when they beat Buffalo. So
Yo, that killed me too, that game. I had that in the contest in the Survivor. And they missed the fucking field goal, and Buffalo was like offside or some shit. You remember that,
12 men
right?
on the field.
They fucking
Yes, it was
killed me
12
with
men
that.
on the field.
Now, Russell, that game played a good game. So maybe he changed his
He did.
thinking in that game. But I'm telling you, he was the check down master. Now, what he's doing in Pittsburgh, I'm seeing a lot of what he did in North Carolina State, Wisconsin, and Seattle Seahawks, but without the same running. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's not as elusive as he used to be, but he is throwing the ball downfield. He's hitting guys over the middle, and he's not the check down king anymore. He's literally throwing it up there for Pickens. Like, he's getting the ball out there, dog. He really is getting the ball out there. And I'm going to give a lot of credit to the Coach Tomlin for that. Even though Russell's the one actually doing it, but I think Tomlin set him up to win, as Sean Payton, to me, set him up to lose, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. Remember,
And not that Russell did good with the black coach, whatever that was, that coach they had from Green Bay, and then they had the black coordinator. I mean, there was a mess over there. And, he did horrible that year. And then I thought Sean Payton could change him around. Instead of Sean helping him, he was dogging him. So that was a bad relationship. So right now, Russell Wilson's having a great year, stealing money from Denver, I think about 42 M's. Pittsburgh's paying him an addition 2 M's. And he about to go in the playoffs, and sky's the limit for them right now, bro.
Pittsburgh could be the team that eliminates Denver. Okay. With that being said, too, I put these Coach of the Year candidates up. Just remember that Justin Fields was supposed to be the starter this year for the Pittsburgh Steelers originally. Remember that conversation about Justin Fields should still be the starter over Russell. Remember?
I remember, but I also remember them saying that they were going to bring in Russell slowly, but if Fields continues to play good, they were going to let him ride out. That's what I remember.
Right. And Justin Fields was winning games, and they put Russell in still, and it's been the right
But he wasn't
move.
accurate. He wasn't accurate. They were winning, but he wasn't accurate, Torch.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Absolutely not. You're right about that.
Yeah.
You get a lot more from Russell Wilson on the offensive end as quarterback than you do Justin Fields for sure. Absolutely.
And I like Fields. I thought Fields, at this moment of his career and Russell being older, I thought Fields was the guy. But like I said, Russell looks rejuvenated, dog. He's throwing the ball downfield. It's crazy.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it doesn't hurt when you got Pickens on the other side snatching all them balls for them cornerbacks and safeties. He out jumping all those little dogs out there. You see Pickens doing it? Pickens a beast, my guy. Am I lying?
No, you ain't lying. So here's the Coach of the Year candidates. Look what it says up top. No Matt LaFleur, no Andy Reid is insane. Well, before the Rams game, I also would have said no Sean McDermott in this conversation is insane too.
Right.
You have Matt LaFleur, Andy Reid, Sean McDermott, Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, Dan Quinn, Jim Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin. If you had to give me your 3 finalists, who would they be?
Definitely gonna be Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Mike Tomlin. What just the fact of how he fixed his quarterback situation, and not to mention the defense is more deadlier now.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta throw Jim Harbaugh there in his first year, losing all them weapons. You gotta remember they lost Mike Williams, they lost Allen, they lost Everett, they lost Gus Edwards, they lost D.K. Robbins.
J.K. Dobbins.
No, I'm lying. They picked up Gus Edwards and D.K. Robbins. I'm lying. I got mixed up there. They picked them up. But what I'm saying is they lost a lot of guys. A lot of offensive guys.
Who was their running back? The dual threat.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, that's the guy. The guy that's with the Commanders now.
Yes.
He's with the Commanders now. That's who they lost. That's the guy I was trying to think about. And he's really good too, that guy. He's really active. Damn, I can't get his name. Can you get his name?
Yeah. Yeah, I can get it. Because it's on the
All right, hold up. I need to plug my phone. I might have to talk to you without my earpiece. I'm hoping I can hear you.
No, you'll be able to hear me.
Okay, hold up. If I don't plug it, I didn't know we were going to be almost 3 hours.
See, I told you this show is very, very addictive. Very addictive. It can definitely happen.
I'm going to tell you what's very addictive. You listening?
Mm-hmm.
When you got people as good and as competitive as you, it's just like, I hate to use this as an example, but it's just like when you really, really feeling a shorty and you having drinks with her. You feel me?
There you go. Yep.
I'm gonna leave it like that.
I do.
Because I didn't even know we damn near clipping almost 3 hours.
Remember, I said an hour and 10 minutes ago we was about to be done. I said that an hour and 10 minutes ago, and
you tricked me into staying in, bro.
And we still in here. I think his name.
Let me look him up. I can find him right now. Give me 1 minute. It ain't gonna be no thing. I'm gonna get it right now.
Oh, I already know.
Exactly. I know exactly who he is.
Austin.
Hold up. Chris.
Austin is Austin.
Hold up. Damn, is he injured? Yeah, because I don't see him on the roster. He must be injured. Because I think he went to Washington, right?
Yeah, his name is Austin.
Yeah, there you go. Austin Eckler.
Eckler.
There you go. Eckler. Yeah. That kid is very active, bro.
Yeah.
But they did good by picking up D.K. Robbins, who was healthy, injury-prone player, was healthy, and then got injured again.
Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, and then they got a rookie receiver also they picked up that's helping them out.
McConkley.
Along with veteran Palmer. Palmer's not bad. Palmer's very underrated. You feel me?
Right. Yep.
But what I'm saying is, they lost a lot. And what Jim Harbaugh did, he basically just got rid of everybody and he got what he wants, which is his quarterback, and he builds via interior first, offensive line, defensive line, like he did in Michigan, and then he's going to build around that, kind of like what Andy Reid used to do with the Eagles. Not that it worked for Andy with the Eagles, because did they win a chip with Andy Reid over there? I don't even think they won a chip. They went to the chip, and they lost to the Patriots, right?
Yeah, the Eagles lost.
But then when Andy Reid started building from outside in Kansas City, he won 3 chips.
Right. Remember, the Eagles lost 4 NFC championship games, and
yes.
They went to the Super Bowl.
McNabb. All you got to say is McNabb. And they also picked up McConkey, who's very big for them.
Yes.
Very big. And the other guy I'm talking about, I think it's Quentin Johnson, the other
Yes.
receiver that
They was
is
just
doing
making fun
really
of
good.
Quentin Johnson.
Yeah, so those are pretty good. They're not Keenan Allen and they're not Mike Williams, but they oncoming. So what I'm saying is Harbaugh basically started brand new. And in his first year, dogs, he's having a great year. I mean, they almost beat Kansas City twice.
Correct.
These guys are balling. They had Baltimore. It was up 10-0 on Baltimore. Then forgot, took their foot off the pedal. You know what I mean? They are a real good team. They solid, and they got a good quarterback that's going to be great for years. And I love the job that Harbaugh's doing right out the gate. So you got to put Tomlin, Harbaugh, and then I'm going to get, you said pick 3, right?
Yeah, pick 3.
Dan Quinn would have been one of them. But the way they've been playing of late, I got to stick in Kevin O'Connell. Not only they lost Kirk Cousins,
Oh,
they first round pickup quarterback J.J. McCarthy was out for the year in preseason. And I know Sam Darnold's doing a great job, but he wouldn't be doing a great job if they didn't coach him up the way they coaching him up. You feel me?
Yeah.
So you got to put O'Connell in it. And that's another team who lost weapons. They lost Madison. They lost Cook. I mean, they lost a lot of pieces. But, now they got Addison, the receiver. Not Madison, Addison, the receiver. You got Jets over there. And I love T.J. Hawkinson, who just got back from injury. He's big time. And their defense is big time. And that defensive coordinator is big time. So you got to put O'Connell in there, bro. Those are my 3.
All right. So, Andy Reid is a no, even though they've won 15 straight one-possession games dating back to
He's a
last
nominee.
year.
He's a nominee, but he's not in
He's
my top 3.
definitely a nominee, but he wouldn't be my.
Yeah, he's not in my top 3. You expect this. You expect KC to play good, and they're not even covering, but they're still winning. So he gets an applause for that. But I kind of expect them to win. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it takes away from him. But he's still doing a magnificent job. Let me let that be clear.
Absolutely. Matt LaFleur, if he wasn't 3rd in his division right now, I would have said, sure, maybe he should be, because he got robbed for being a 13-win team 3 years in a row. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
13 wins 3 years in a row, but got robbed.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers
was his quarterback.
I remember Aaron Rodgers leading that whole team all the time. I remember that.
Correct. So he didn't win Coach of the Year because Aaron Rodgers was his quarterback. I would have said him, but they're 3rd in their division, and 9-4. Okay, good season, but
he's not top 3. I mean,
right.
you could put Dan Campbell. You could put Dan Campbell in top 3. I mean,
Dan Campbell is definitely top 3.
Yes.
We thought that last year might be a fluke, and it just turned out that it was solid as rock. It was more solid than 4 guys.
Yeah, he's definitely in there too. I mean, however way I could get him in there, he's definitely in there. I love Dan Campbell. By the way, he used to play with my Cowboys. Let me educate you a little bit. He played with my Cowboys, and a couple Cowboys guys said, Troy Aikman, for example, said that he knew that Dan Campbell would make a great coach. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Did not know that. Dan Campbell definitely is one of my top 3. He just turned Detroit sports on its ear, period. That everybody thought last year was a fluke when they went to the NFC Championship game. Detroit Lions are more solid than 4 cars. than 4 cars that come out of Detroit. So gotta give him his respect. Plymouth Rock is definitely there. They definitely doing their thing. Dan Campbell deserves his props, being 12.
Yeah, most def. I mean, there was actually Torch. a turnover away from beating Frisco last year, bro.
Yes, they were. Yeah,
You
they
remember
were.
that game, right, bro?
Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah, they don't make that turnover. We're having a whole different conversation. But, there's an old saying, if my sister had balls, she'd be a man, right?
Right. If
So,
your
it is what it
auntie
is.
if your auntie had balls, she'd be your uncle.
He twisted
Um,
up. I like that.
Dan Campbell is one. Mike Tomlin is definitely in the conversation. Mike
You got to
Tomlin
get
has
Mike in there. You got to get
18
Mike in
straight winning seasons. It doesn't matter who his quarterback is, doesn't matter who his running game is, doesn't matter what defense he has, doesn't matter what receivers he does or don't have. Mike Tomlin is a winning coach,
there.
and
Right.
this year is solidifying exactly what we thought about Mike Tomlin. He deserves to be in there. So Dan Campbell, Mike Tomlin, and the last one to me, I told people that Jim Harbaugh will win it because of a statue, and he fits the mold. If you look at the coaches of past who've won, Kevin Stefanski, um, Mike Vrabel won, Brian Dable has won. Jim
Right.
Harbaugh has that type of team and that type of record. So Jim Harbaugh is number 3 to me. Dan Quinn has been around long enough. His stature. I mean, and this is Jim Harbaugh coming back to the NFL. Dan Quinn has
Right.
been around for a while. Lately, he's starting to do the choke artist thing again. Dan
Yeah.
Campbell
That's
was
why he's not there. Because if you would have told me this after 7 weeks of the NFL, I would have had Dan Quinn in my top 3.
Absolutely.
But the
Dan
fact that
Quinn,
the bad losses there included to my Dallas Cowboys, which was a huge loss. I
yeah,
mean, that was like kind of the biggest loss of the year when you think about it, because that's the team he just left, the team that didn't make him head coach over there. So he wanted to beat the Cowboys. You know that.
right.
And all these great wins he had all season, including a Hail Mary against the Bears, which I had money on them, and I was running around the book like a chicken with no head. You should have seen me. But that was a big loss, dog. That was as bad as a loss. You might think I'm crazy of Ohio State losing to Michigan, dog.
No, yeah,
And
I agree
Dan
with that.
and Dan Quinn's mind, not in the world. The world knows that Ohio State game was way more intense than all that. But in Dan Quinn's mind, Cowboys didn't hire me as the head coach. They kept McCarthy. They had me on deck. Didn't make me the offer. I want to beat this team. And they lost to them, dog.
Absolutely. I agree. He's doing the choke artist thing again. By the way, let's not forget that Dan Campbell has been a part of 2 of the worst Super
Yep.
Bowl losses
Yep.
in this modern era. When he was with the
Yep.
Falcons, the comeback 28-3. Who can
28-3.
forget Dan
The third
Campbell?
quarter.
Yes, who can forget? And then not handing the ball off to Marshawn Lynch when he was with Seattle and Pete Carroll. He was a
Yeah, but
part of that Seattle team.
remember, Chuck, he was the defensive coordinator.
Yes, I know he was, but he still
He had
made.
nothing to do with that handoff. I'm not going to put blame on that. But you can
Oh no,
say
he didn't have nothing to do with the handoff, but he sure enough had
no, but he
something
was
to
with
do
the
with the
team, though.
Patriots.
Okay,
Right,
I got you.
but he
I got
sure
you.
enough had something to do with the Patriots getting the lead in that game late. The reason why
Right.
that
No,
handoff.
but you said he was part of 2 teams, so it makes
Right.
sense. It makes
Yes,
sense.
he was a part of
But
those
I
2
just have
teams.
to correct it to the viewers that he wasn't the coordinator.
Right, he wasn't the offensive
But
coordinator.
he
He was the
was the
defensive
head
coordinator.
coach in Atlanta, so
Yes,
he
he
gets
was.
full blame for that.
Yes, absolutely.
Full blame.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yep. But his name is still attached. He's still
No doubt. No doubt.
linked to those 2 for sure.
He's an accessory to the crime.
Accessory. Yeah. He's definitely an accessory. No mystery bands needed for this one. He's definitely an
Exactly.
accessory. And he's gonna be an accessory to another crime if the Washington Commanders do a flop for the rest of the
Yeah.
season. He's gonna be
Yeah, they gotta
accessory.
win. They gotta at least make it to the playoff. I think if he gets them in the play, I think he did his job. Though they would like him to go further, but I think nobody expected Washington, including myself, to make the playoffs. especially with Jalen Daniels' first year. I like the boy out of LSU. I think he's a real good quarterback, but I did not think he was going to start out this good, Dre. I did not think that. And he's showing out. Even though he's slowing up, he's been having them ribs injuries. He's not the same quarterback, but it was ever since he got cracked in the ribs. And if you had a rib injury, which I'm pretty sure you had in your life, it's hard to just walk around with that shit. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Like, it's hard to get my box of cereal from the top of the refrigerator with that shit. So you could imagine playing against these NFL players. Like, wow, that's pretty tough right there for a rookie too.
Yeah. So I got a question for you before we go. This is the last question. Because we're about to be at the 3-hour mark. Should Jaden Daniels be the rookie of the year?
If you ask me for the first half of the season, Torch, I will tell you yes. But I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Bo Nix of late. Bo Nix is going to be the truth with Sean Payton, bro. I love Bo Nix. What I'm seeing out of him, I'm very impressed, especially now going into the end of the season. I'm starting to like Bo Nix more, and my love for Daniels is actually going down, if that makes sense. It's declining. Maybe it's because of that injury. You know what I'm saying? He's not even running the ball the same. Did you see him run?
Yes.
He looked scared because of that injury. So I'm going to say Bo Nix, but not by a lot. That makes sense?
Yep.
Who you like?
My answer is Brock Bowers.
No, but let's say them two quarterbacks.
Oh, if it's just quarterbacks?
Just them, quarterbacks in general, any rookie quarterback. I love Bowers too. Bowers gonna be the truth, bro. That kid got receiver speed over there, and the Raiders.
Yeah, if I gotta go with quarterbacks right now, Bo Nix has the edge.
Okay, we on the same page, brother.
Yeah,
I like that.
All right. Yeah. This has been a phenomenal show. For the first time ever. This is the first time ever. We've known each other for 8 years. First time ever. Al York, the fire starter, on the ones and twos on the late night.
Right.
Yeah, hopefully we can do this more often. And I will be on Al York's show very, very soon. Al York Sports.
Appreciate that.
I will be on the show very, 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 very soon. My guy.
I would like us. I was gonna tell you this off the air, but I might as well say it on the air. I would like us to be like, I'm not gonna use the word regular because I know you got a lot of your peoples, I got a lot of my peoples, and we gotta kind of make them happy. But I would like to at least like every 2 months, at least one time on each other's show. I think that'd be very, very good for our viewers. We bring in heat, we bring in knowledge, we respect people, we respect people's ways, and it's all about growing. Like, why I do my show, to make a long story short, I wanted to change the model of people not giving people opportunities, Torch. Like, when I came up, I would hit dudes up. Dudes would never look my way. And I thought it was because I was lacking something, but what I came up with, they seen the raw talent there, Torch. And they ain't want nothing to do with it because they felt like, why should I have my people follow this dude? But you know why I respect you? You know why I respect you, Torch? Because you bring me on your show, bro. And you didn't even think about that. You know why? Because when you're confident in what you do and you love what you do, it's nothing to be afraid of, dog. You can only go up. Right or wrong?
Absolutely.
And I'm giving
Plus,
high
I want to
praise
see the continuance and the elevation of Black journalism.
I'm giving high praise to you because when I tell you, I almost feel like Bud Crawford when nobody wanted to fight him. I'm going to keep it a band with you. I hit guys up. They don't respond. I'm like, yo, dog, I got followers. I'm on platforms. What's up? I said, I just want to, I want to join. And I
You've been
don't get
doing
no
it. You are
love.
OG.
Yeah, I don't get no love. And for you to take me on tells me a lot about your character, bro. And I'm going to give you high praise for that, bro. High praise. And I can't wait to get on my show so that my peoples in my show can start following you and start knowing who the 5-starter is. I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue.
It's all about Lincoln. It's all about Lincoln.
Exactly. And like I said, I had a great time today. I got 2 separate shows tomorrow on my channel, and I got some thing on Instagram. But after what we experienced tonight, dog, you might want to put this in name of the classic, dog. I think we had a classic today. I never went 3 hours on my shit. So this is definitely a classic too. You might want to put classic when you word this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll do.
I'll leave it like that, big dog. So guys, your show, close it out, brother.
Listen, once again, it's the people's show. It don't go nowhere without the people. It don't go nowhere without good people. Rise Up Family has always been about that. We are always about bringing unity and community together. It's always been about that. It's always gonna stay that way.
Like that.
There's no competition when it comes to Black journalism. There's only elevation, and progression. So we're gonna keep doing that.
Yep.
And I'm gonna keep pounding that. And I'm sure the OG that you've been since 2017, you're gonna continue to keep doing the same. So iron always sharpens iron.
Yep. And let's keep putting on those guys that can't be hurt.
Oh yeah.
You don't even know. You know what I found out? A few of them told me, they hit me up on the inbox, Torch, and it's what they told me, real talk. They say, Al, like, I appreciate you for letting me be heard, man. Like, you don't even know what that means to me. And when they tell me that, Torch, you don't even know what that means to me. Making them feel like that.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna end it with that, brother. I'm gonna end it with that because, like I said, we're doing our thing. You gotta love what you do. If you don't love to do this sports thing, if it's a job for you, then it's not for you. Then,
for sure.
Like I said, I seen you with the security suit starting out with this shit, bro. I said, yo, I like this dude, man. You used to be out there going hard, like in your security office or some shit. I said, yo, I like this dude, man. This guy don't give a fuck, bro. And that's how you gotta do it. And let me tell you, a lot of people will not take that route because it's not in them to do that shit. And that's how I knew this was you, because if you could get through that, you can do it anywhere. Leave it like that, brother. Much love, Torch.
Cannot wait to do this again. Cannot wait to do this again.
I'm going to call you in a couple weeks, maybe after the new year, and then I'm going to channel you in with me where you just jump right in. I'll make you, of course, I'll put you on first. I got a new thing I'm doing. I'm doing 2 segments, so you'll have a whole segment for yourself. It'll be me and you, a segment for ourselves. So we're looking after the new year. Make sure you put that on your notes because I know you're a busy dude. And I want to end it up by saying thank you again, good brother. I really enjoyed myself. It was really fun to do this. And I hope that your listeners really learned something, enjoyed it, and are looking forward for another expedition, bro.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Absolutely. A lot of comments tonight. A lot of comments. A lot of viewership on the late night tip. We appreciate it again. Al York, my guy, OG. Nothing but love and respect to you, my guy. We will see
baby. Thank you. And Bills Mafia. I know you're not a Bills fan, but you cover a lot of Bills guys. Bills Mafia on the upset this week, bro.
All right, there we go.
All right, brother. Have a good one, dog.
You as well, my guy.
Okay, so.